hung upon all the words you said, breaking free from this conformity that you force on me. Everything I do is one big show. It's about damn time that I take control. Put me under a microscope and watch me take control. What's this? I finally feel this helplessness. Tired of feeling like I'm upside down. So I'm gonna turn it all around. And dear God, save my soul, 'cause it is flawed. Tired of feeling like I'm upside down. So I'm gonna turn it all around. Upside down. Upside down. Gonna turn it all upside down. And don't tell me that I need saving. Finally awake and living. Yeah. The pressure inside was building. I felt under attack, and now my mind's attacked, and I've chosen my path. I've chosen my path. What's this? I finally read this helplessness. Tired of feeling like I'm upside down. So I'm gonna turn it all around. And dear God, save my soul, 'cause it is flawed. Tired of feeling like I'm upside down. So I'm gonna turn it all around.
Good shit. No, I just realized if I Yes, can you hear me? All right. Let's do it.
What's up, guys? How's it going? And welcome to the first ever fight night with old PPG. George Machado here on the right. How's it going, Mr. George? Can you hear me okay? Everything
What's
good?
up? Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
Oh,
Excited to be here. Super exciting match that we have today. Two great players.
It's going to be awesome. So if you guys aren't familiar with how the fight night's going to work, we chose two players. We currently have Danny Height versus Marcel Russell, and they pick 4 decks. Those 4 decks, they have to be, they get a ban, one of each other's decks, and then they only have 3 decks, and they have to win with all 3 of their decks. That's the that's how it works. So what I'm going to do, before we get started, I'm going to let George talk a little bit about a special announcement that he's going to have, and that lets me get kind of caught up here just a little bit.
Perfect. So didn't expect to do it this early, but let's do it.
Talk a little bit about it so I can get some stuff set up, and then we'll be ready to go.
Absolutely. So first of all, thank you guys again for joining us on the first Fight Night stream. I think this is going to be I think this series has like the biggest potential of, oh, look at Dusty in his little PPG jacket. He looks so cute. But I think this installment has like the biggest potential to be something huge, because Dusty was explaining it the other day. Like, this can be literally like, instead of going out and like, you know, having to wait for a big event to see big names clash against each other and play a competitive game. Now you can just literally unite them at any time and just, you know, it's like we're there at an event, but I don't have to run the event, which is so much better for me because I actually get to commentate. So super excited to do this. It's been a while since we commentated. So
Absolutely.
Anyways, apart from that, special announcement, Pro Play Tour, of course. I know a lot of you guys are super excited about how that's been going, and you know, we've been wanting to announce since last week. We've been having to do a lot of last minute adjustments just to make sure that the event was obviously as fine-tuned as possible. The website looked nice. It's finally live right now if you want to go and look at it before I even say anything. ppgeventmanagement.com. Pro Play Tour debut is going to be Atlantic City. I know it's not New York, guys. I know, I'm sorry. New York is like for rich billionaires, but we picked the next best thing, which is Atlantic City, about a 1 or 2 hour drive from New York max, I think. So it's going to be really. So we expect to see a lot of the big name players from that area. Anthony Hernandez, I'm talking to you. Hill Twins, I'm calling you guys out. All you guys from that area, you better be there. You better be representing, because this is the inaugural 2-day Pro Play Tour. We're going to have $3,200 in cash prizing, which is huge, guys. It's huge, and it's only going to get bigger. How do we make it bigger? Let's make these events successful. We're going to make them successful. Dusty's going to be out there covering the whole event. We're going to have a production crew out there. We're going to hype it up and make it 100% worth your time. So thank you guys again for your patience and support. I know everybody was really excited about the announcements and when they would come, and this is it. You guys are getting it first. Definitely go over to ppgeventmanagement.com and look at the other 3 stops. Second stop, by the way, let's talk about the first stop. It's January 19th and 20th, right? So what is that weekend? Clash of Fates. So you're going to be able to play with the new Clash of Fate cards the weekend that they come out. Now, it's really exciting, right? If you wonder how do you get your cards, right, we're going to have everything available that day. So if you need anything from Clash of Fates, whether it be a master set, your play sets of Bardock's crew, your whole deck of whatever, we're going to have it for you. The exciting thing about Atlantic City is not only that it's a Pro Play Tour, but it's also going to be a Bandai event. Yes, a Bandai event. Bandai reached out to us.
That's
and
huge.
They were like, hey,
that's huge.
Can you please hype up Team Wars? And we were like, absolutely. When do you want us to do it? They were like, January. And we were like, well, that's great, because we're actually going to Atlantic City in January. So they're going to be providing a special Clash of Fates playmat, which we're going to give out. And they're going to also give us a bunch of the promo packs. You're going to get Event Pack 2, Tournament Pack, whatever we're on. I think it's like 4, 5, 6, who knows, whatever. But it's good because you're going to play the whole event as a team on Sunday. and then Saturday is going to be your normal like 1v1 Swiss. So you get to get that fame there, make it to Top Cut. Top Cut will be on day 2, and then for everyone who didn't make Top Cut, or possibly the people that are still in Top Cut, can still play in the Team Wars if you're members in Top Cut, potentially get a buy or two. And we're going to see who the best team is in January, and it's going to kind of lead up. I think ARG is going to have their team event in February or something, and then we're going to lead up to March, where it's going to be Celebration Month. That's where you have like 4 different celebration events. You got ARG, PPG, Core TCG. All of them are going to be running their celebration event, and we're going to see who the best teams in North America are.
That is going to be huge.
Yeah,
I can't wait for that.
That's why we're kind of just doing this whole thing, just to hype it up. But yeah, you ready, Dusty?
Yeah, I think, okay, our players are ready. Don't worry, guys. We're going to talk a lot more about the Pro Play Tour. George was helping me get stuff ready, so we have tons of stuff to talk about with that. But our players are ready for game number 1. So, guys, just in case you guys didn't know, each player chose 3 or 4 decks. They banned one another. They have 3 decks. So the way this works, they have to win with one game with each 3 of their leaders. So we're going to pop over to the screen here to get ready, and I'm going to tell them they can go. We don't know what they chose to pick, though. So if we look at Danny, his choices were Xenotrunks, Gogeta, and Super 17. And then Marcel Russell has Xenotrunks, which is going to be awesome. And then we have Fight Night. I'm sorry, Fight Night. We have Marcel Russell. We have Haruta God, Android, the androids, and then Baby Vegeta, which is going to be freaking amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and let them know that they can choose their leader. We have no idea which leaders they chose to go up against each other first. So we'll take a look and see what that will be. I'm super excited about it. Let me type to them and let them know that they can play.
There was a lot of mind games with these choices. Like I know,
yes, for sure.
I know Marcel put up Haruta, and like you sitting on the other side, right? When you're gonna ban a leader, if you see Haruta in any of those 4, I think you immediately just ban that. Just because it's Storm, it could be a Jonathan Rodriguez brew, which we've seen him a huge success at the national championship with just a brew of Haruta, and it's just insane. It doesn't have to be Storm, right? But it's just a very powerful, very, very powerful leader. So I liked the kind of like mind games that went through, like picking those 4 and like banning which one. You know, I think it's really cool.
Absolutely. So we see actually Android 17 versus Super 17, which is pretty cool. You know, do you think that Marcel kind of you think he's taken Papa Marcel's, Papa George's list here?
Possibly. I would be flattered if he did.
Okay, all right.
We have been testing it a lot locally, so I don't know. Maybe he took my deck one day and looked at it. I haven't really shared my list with him. Once you look at a deck being played, you usually can carve out the deck list because there's only, think about it, 12 different cards if you're playing play sets.
Right. Okay, so it looks like Marcel has 3-drop cell, 18, 2 defensive stance SS Vegeta. I'm not. That's the combo card. Not choosing to run the Android 16 combo, which is pretty interesting, and choosing a sparking one at that. So that's also very interesting to me.
Yeah, the defensive stance Super Saiyan Vegeta is something that I wish I had at the national championship, and I 100% regret playing the other super combo. We used Piccolo, I believe. It's just so good. Being able to sparking 5 is pretty simple in androids. The main reason why you're playing these super combos over the stout hearteds is because against Storm. Every other matchup should be fine. You're only really worried about Storm. So if you have a super combo that's good against Storm, usually the sparking 5 is not an issue because you're pitching cards to stay alive.
Right. All right, Danny attacking Super 17 into Android 17, 10,000 and 10,000, bursting 2 cards out, getting Hellfire 17 Evil Revived, and what appears to be some other card. Maybe it's just 2 of those. I couldn't see the other card popped up. It's not letting me look through the drop area, so I'm not sure what the other card was, but we'll see. Attacking, Marcel's going to choose to take it, get a 7 life, and then it's now Marcel's turn. So Marcel's what is all good to go with the cell chain. He has the 17 and 18 he needs, and he has the 3-drop cell, right? Nothing else he's missing there. Using King Vegeta surprise attack as energy and attacking 5,000 into 10,000 with Dark, or the Mass Saiyan. Is this Dark Power? Is that what this card's called?
Yeah, I think so. That's interesting for him to go with King Vegeta in the main board. That's something that I wanted to squeeze in the main board, but wasn't able to. So it looks like he has a slight iteration of the deck that me, Rios, and I think Peter took. Yeah.
All right, now attacking 10,000 to 10,000 gets to draw a card. And androids are so good. I love watching them play. They just do so much. Like, look how many cards he drew this turn. It's insane.
This is going to be an interesting one because I think Super 17 is a better leader in the cell chain mirror, I guess you can call it.
Okay. Why is that?
I just think being able to draw one earlier than your opponent, like you don't have to wait to get hit, really. Like there could be times where you have a little bit of a hard time awakening in androids, and being able to just burst 2 in Super 17. Also, Super 17 decks usually have a heavier line of the Super 17 chain, which I think is much better if you're playing against a cell chain deck.
Ooh, Marcel playing out Daily Defender for 2 here. Like it. Daily Defender's so good in the Android deck. Then play for 2 is insane, and then if you wait until you have 4 life, it goes up to 20k on your opponent's turn. Just such a hard card to kill. Hey, he's not going to attack with it. I like that play by Marcel. He doesn't really have that many ways to protect it in hand. How many cards does Marcel have in drop area? Is it 0? Yeah, it is 0, right?
Yeah, it looks so. Yeah, it looks like. That's where this is where the super combos can really bite you in the butt.
Right.
It's unfortunate because it's not very good in this matchup. In the cell chain mirror match, you normally want to have stout-hearted 16 because you can cell chain them. They can still keep cell chain in their hand, right? They can keep all 3 pieces. If you have a stout-hearted or a combination of Dark Temptation Toas, it's really easy to rip those cards out of their hand so that they can't cell chain you back.
All right, so Danny just attacking into Dark Power Masan and passing the turn. This is going to be Marcel's cell chain turn. We'll see if he decides to even cell chain. He might not, but it looks like he's going to. So dropping down the 3-drop, cell, and immediately going to the 5-drop. Smart job for Danny not playing anything out that can be killed by this 5-drop.
No, yeah, that's really heads-up play. You don't want to put anything in the way. But in androids, you really don't have too much of a
on turn
option
2.
on turn 2. Yeah, you normally like you could cast a 17 hard cast, but you probably are probably never going to do that. But we're going to see. This is actually pretty risky. His opponent can easily just do the same thing back to him, and then have the upper hand because he'll be able to draw after it too. So he can cell chain, get rid of Marcel's perfect cell, and now Danny will be left with a perfect cell with 3 or 4 cards in hand, and be able to. I don't know. I'm guessing he's playing some iteration of the 17 chain. Super 17 chain.
Yeah. So Danny chooses to actually, in his hand, off the cell, keep 3-drop cell, except Android 17 and an Android 18. So he actually ends up keeping, exactly what he needs to cell chain him back. So if you're Marcel, this is a good question. What do you do about the perfect force cell? Do you attack with it here, or do you just hope he doesn't have cell chain and kills you with it?
I think you have to attack with it here because your opponent obviously your opponent has to do it, has to have it. He drew. Think about it. Danny was able to draw turn 1, and he's able to draw turn 2, right? And he's milled 4 cards. I don't know what those cards are, but if obviously he didn't mill 4 perfect cells, But if he milled 4 perfect cells, it obviously changes your decision a little bit. But no, he chooses not to attack with perfect cell here.
Okay. Looks like Marcel playing very defensively here. Looks like he doesn't want to attack with this Daily Defender until he can protect it, which I like a lot. If this
that's fine. Yeah. I think that's good.
All right, we'll see what Danny decides to do. He does have the ability to cell chain here.
The thing is, Danny not only has access to cell chain, but he also has access to the 17 chain, which the 17 chain also kills the perfect cell. So not only does he have 2 different 3-drops that can completely destroy Marcel's 7-drop, but
Let's see what he
I
gets
don't know.
here.
It's risky, but you don't want to give. Also, don't want to give your opponent cards.
So Android 18 is probably the better pitch with the 7-drop, right? You want to keep your Daily Defender, you think, or is it Android 18 better for the critical pressure to be able to put in after the cell chain? Which one would you keep off of this?
The what? I'm sorry.
The Android 18s. Danny has access to Daily Defender and Dreadful Duo in hand. Do you think which one would you rather put under cell The
Put
Daily Defender
undersell.
or the critical pressure one.
I normally put the critical one under, but in 17 and 18, the critical does actually come into play. It doesn't as much on the Super 17 side since you can't make them cheaper, but you do have, it does come up because you have 20k 2 energy critical, like it's just insane.
Okay, we'll see what Danny decides to do here. If he decides to attack with the 5-drop before he plays the 7-drop out, or he decides to just go straight to the 7-drop. Looks like he's going to go for the 5-drop. I like this play a lot. If this connects, it'll knock Marcel from 5 to 3. Marcel, though, has tons of cards in hand. But he's tapped out. So we'll see if he has the ability to... He does actually have the ability to use super combos now as well, too. So he can use super combos to protect himself here if he wants. 20,000 to 10,000. Marcel's still taking some time to think what he wants to do with this attack.
The beautiful thing here, if he expects Perfect Cell to come down, he can actually just throw his 10Ks, his super combos, as just 10K defense. Yeah, which is what he's going to do here.
Yeah, goes to 20. It's still 20 to 20. Use both of them. So okay, there we go. So over combos by 5, but there's the ability to give his card, and there's the Daily Defender. So he does keep the critical. Interesting. So Danny preferring the critical over the Daily Defender. Seems like that's kind of what this deck wants to do, though. It really does kind of want to get you down to low cards in hand and then try to kill you with critical cards. Remember, Super 17 does get critical on the backside as well. So that's a lot of critical pressure coming in through Danny.
Yeah, that leader is definitely pretty powerful on the backside. I don't know if it's as powerful as 17 and 18 because as the game goes on, the androids from Marcel's side are going to be much more impactful, but it definitely is not the worst backside on Super 17. It does have a pretty bad activate main ability, I'm not going to lie. But probably it's usually never relevant. It's just a critical.
Right. Yeah, it's not too bad against certain decks like Hercule and stuff like that, but you're right. It's very...
What's Danny doing with his perfect cell?
I think he was just trying to get the giant arrow to go away.
What's happening?
Marcel is going to be able to charge another green here. He has Infernal Emperor Frieza, which is great. That's going to essentially get him to perfectly at 4 life, which means all of his androids will get 5k, which is going to be huge with this Deadly Defender. And honestly, this Limitless Energy Android 17 also being a great card to have in hand as well. He can kill the 7-drop with that card.
I don't want.
And that's actually really funny how Marcel has a Scientist Fu in the main board and now he's going to super clutch because that's going to help him bounce back from Cell Chain.
It is. And
as soon as you kill a Cell, that's like, what is that, 5 cards?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So 5 cards in the yard from killing a perfect Cell. It's going to be really clutch.
Oh, gets another Limitless Energy Android 17. I love this card. So good.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Especially when you play for 3 and it's a 25k.
Oh, I know. It's so insane. And what's really weird, though, I think one thing that Marcel's going to have to figure out is what's the right time to play the Scientist Who. Obviously, like you said, right now is a great time. But if he does, he actually turns off his super combos. So he has to be a little careful when playing it. But he already played 2, so that's good. And he has no more in hand. So I imagine Scientist Who will come down here, but... It is definitely something to keep track of, which is what I love about the sparking mechanic, right? It adds in so much flavor once you try to play it with Overrealm. It's just so hard to kind of balance those two mechanics, so it's really, really cool.
It's really risky by Marcel. We chose to play 0 cards in our main deck, especially if we're relying on sparking for the Death Ball and for the super combo. We weren't relying on it for the super combo, but it was good after sideboard. Like we would put in mass Ains and stuff, and it would work out good. But yeah, it's just that's super risky.
All right, there we go.
Shocking Death Ball, kill the 1-drop. That extra value, you're gonna get that.
Absolutely. 17
to kill that android. Oof. Now you're gonna 25k barrier blocker. I can imagine he does not swing here. Yep.
What are life?
What's life at?
Life is at 4, Marcel's at 4, and Danny's at 5.
Okay, Marcel's at 4, Danny's at 5.
So life is 4 to 5.
This is deadly because if Danny actually has a self-awakener, it might be a pretty darn big turn.
This is game 1, guys. Yeah, this is the first game. So Danny's taking some time here. Does have the ability to, if he can just get 1 life, he just needs to go to 4 life, and he can start trying to tear apart Marcel's hand.
Good thing
Sparky
is here,
Deathbolts.
Marcel has 2 barrier dudes on board, so
Yes, he does.
Danny's not going to be able to get much value out of Super 17 chain, which I haven't seen yet. You think he's playing it?
Yeah, we saw he actually discarded it to.
Oh, okay. I'm
yeah.
sorry. I didn't see it.
Yeah, Dark Temptation Toa, a great draw to try to tear apart Marcel's hand, but the thing is, he can't use it yet, or he'll get rid of his cell chain. He'll get rid of his Super 17 chain, so he has to be really careful when he overwhelms this card, because most of his Super 17 chain is in the drop right now.
So risky. He's playing the 17 chain as well with over. It's just crazy to me. Oh no, wait. Is this Danny's hand that we're looking at? Oh,
Yeah, this is Danny's hand right now, yeah.
that gets me so confused. Okay, perfect.
You can look at their hand in Octagon.
No, yeah, I see it now, and I'm like, but because it's on Marcel's side, I think it was Marcel. And I was like, what's going on here? I was so confused. I'm like, what happened to Scientist Fu?
See, Danny can take 2 cards out of his hand right now, right? He can take 2 cards out of Marcel's hand with the Android
Super combo on the Toa, yeah.
No. With
That's
like,
it.
can he just Unit Absorb? He can place the 17 and then get the.
Yes, but then the 17, all it does is, he can discard 2 from his hand by going into one of the 4 drops, but there is another 4 drop that you normally want to go into because that one can level up to the cell absorbed one, and that's the one that once you get down on board versus androids, that is just game over. And that's what I imagine Danny wants to do, which is why he's just playing it here and passing. He just wants to set that play up, and if he can set that play up, Marcel's going to have a really tough time getting back into the game because that critical pitch 2 on each attack is just
I'll tell you though,
huge.
Marcel could win this turn. Like he has double strike chomp on him.
No, he can, yeah.
Yeah, he has actually a lot of combo power in hand.
He's got a ton of damage on board.
He does.
And Danny's stuck there with that stout-hearted 16 super combo.
Right.
It's not going to do much on the defense.
Right, it's not. So it's actually really interesting. We'll see what happens here. This is 25k to 10k. Double strike. See what Marcel, if he decides to combo anything here, or just kind of let this 25k and the 10k go through, which seems like a pretty good hit. Awesome. Remember, okay, Danny's going to choose to awaken, ready to energy, and use the super combo going to 25 to 25. Marcel does have to discard a card, but Danny
That's going to help.
18 to survive.
Going to help Marcel fuel up that drop area again for a sparking death ball, most likely. Yeah, it looks bad for Danny on the defense because even with that awaken, he's not seeing extra cards. He's just untapping. That's where you're going to see a lot of the disadvantage go to Super 17. But that Super 17 is only as good as that cell chain, that Super 17 chain comes out. So the leader isn't too good unless you actually get that chain rolling. But Danny looking like he's had a few hiccups getting that online.
Yeah, it's interesting here, though. I think what would happen here is if Danny takes this and goes to 2, I think Marcel might try to go for game and just play out Energy Guard because it does untap at the end of the turn. So it's pretty safe to go for game here for him. It's not like if Danny stops it, it matters. Like he still gets a blocker and everything's fine. All right, so Danny is going to protect himself with this. Puts himself to 30. Danny down to 1 card in hand, being the Toa, which is a pretty powerful card, but does Danny have enough cards? Danny does have 24 cards in drop, so if he does have Super 17 like you're talking about, he's going to be able to make Marcel discard a lot of cards. Now, do you think that that Marcel should have been a little bit more aggressive there?
I think so because of the low amount of cards that Danny had in hand. Honestly. Like it's just you want to take advantage of it, and looks like he has, and there he's going into another cell chain here.
But he only has the ability to go to the 5 drop.
Yeah, good thing is that Danny Hype's 3 drop there has barrier, so he's not going to be able to rid his that, which is one of the main reasons why
Okay.
this.
I love this play by Marcel. This
so
actually
good. Boom, the vile replication. That is the boy. One of.
gets to draw 2 cards here. This is huge.
You got to play this in every deck, guys.
Now,
card
the,
is so
the
good.
big downside here, though, is that this cell doesn't have double strike like the other 5-drop cells.
Does
so,
not. Yes, that is a huge thing to note. Yes.
So Danny can take one of these hits. He can just protect himself from the Cell Junior tokens if he wants and take the cell hit.
You know what Marcel could have done too? He could have gone into the 5 drop, drawn a card, not popped anything, and then charged another 18 under to go into vile replication.
Yeah, but he didn't have the 18
It's just
in
something that
hand.
he could have done.
He drew it off of the cell.
He didn't?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was his top card, though. So, well, actually, because you shuffle, so
Yeah, you
who
should.
knows? Yeah, who knows what happened there. Okay, so here we go. 20K.
Oh, wow. Using a token to attack. Okay.
I like this play.
What is Danny at here? 3?
2 life. So this is
2,
2 life,
okay.
20 to 15. We'll see if Danny. I don't think Danny doesn't really even have the ability to stop this. He has 2 Toas in hand. He can go to 25K, which he might just do.
No, I think Danny lost here. He's got 2 Toas? Jesus.
The thing is, though, I think if Danny survives this, I think he might win next turn. I mean, Marcel will have a blocker.
Well, the thing is, Marcel's going to have... Yeah, he's going to have the deadly defense.
Right, the dead of the defender.
And then a shocking death ball. So it's going to be pretty hard. Where's Marcel at right now? 4?
Marcel
still?
does have to take a life for that shocking death ball, though. That's important to remember. So
What
essentially-
is Marcel at? 4?
He's at 4. Yeah, it's 4 to 2.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't think there's really a way. Because Danny can't see multiple cards, unfortunately. That's where the big awaken here helps. Like, if both players get cell chained, a leader that draws 2 after awakening will normally be able to tempo out. Not 100% win all the time because this Super 17...
Interesting that Danny chose to take that hit.
Did he? He went down to 1
He
then.
went to 1. To me, that's the attack that you would want to defend.
Well, the thing is here, he was attacking with a bigger base power, right? Marcel
Right.
was attacking with a 20k base power. So you're expending more resources defending that attack than your opponent is. Now, if Marcel swings in with this 10k to try to go for game, Danny's actually like investing less cards to defend than
It's
he
just-
would have the
it's just
20k.
Danny's dead if he has a super combo, though. That's the thing. If Marcel has another super combo, which I guess that would be the 3rd one, though, right? So maybe he's just playing around that. So he's going up to 20 here. So this is 20 to 15. Danny can still defend this.
Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of greedy by Marcel. That's 20.
What's actually pretty crazy right here,
That's
too, is...
25. It's 1 card off, literally. Like,
Yeah, 1 cross. That's what I'm saying. That's why it was so weird.
that's funny.
Yeah, okay. So going to Danny's turn. Danny will draw a card per turn. Does have to use a card as energy, though.
Yeah, so he's going to have to... Well, he doesn't have to. I think androids are normally good at 4.
Does Tower not cost 1 to overall?
No,
No, it
it's
doesn't.
free.
Okay.
Oh my god, Danny drew a 17, which is like useless.
See what Danny decides to do here. Not going to charge. We'll see if he goes to Infernal here, or if he goes to... See, if he uses the Infernal, discard 2...
He's going to go straight for the 3-drop, which is pretty interesting. I think I would attack with leader first. Because your leader's crit. Oh, well,
I think
you have an 18 there staring you in the face, so it's
Right.
it's just hard
Remember,
no matter
the
what.
leader can't attack through the 18, though.
Yeah, it cannot. You could draw a card, but you can't kill it.
Right. But he can kill it with Tawa, which is pretty sick. He can buff his leader up to 20 and attack
Yes.
it with Tawa.
Correct.
Alrighty, we'll see. We'll see which evolution he's going to get here. My guess is he's going for the Super 16, or is it Super 17 evolution? Yeah, there's
Super
the 4
17,
drop.
yeah. So there's Furthering Heights. Which
gets to kill
will
something.
Yeah,
gets to
we'll
kill,
kill
what, the
something on
5 drop?
summon, and then
Right.
there's the Infernal, which will pitch 2 from both players' hand.
Goes for the 5
gonna-
drop.
Yeah, definitely go for the 4-drop there, the Furthering Heights, and if he he can also tap 4 energy and go into the big chain, the big guy, cell absorbed, and then he can Toa. Yeah, and he's gonna do just that. So this is gonna be hard for Marcel to defend because he's gonna lose the remaining cards in his hand from the attack. But I think Marcel has a shocking death ball.
Yeah, he does have a shocking death ball.
So it'd be negates first, right? And Marcel would have to take a life, right, before they
Yeah,
shock
take a life and discard two.
and then auto would resolve, and Marcel would.
So I guess Marcel does get to see an extra card, right? So he gets to get the card from life first, and then he can choose which two he wants.
But then he loses it because he only has 2 cards in hand, and that
That's
Super
true,
17 pitches 2.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any way Danny can sequence this where he doesn't get negated, but it looks like
No, he's gonna get negated no matter what.
yeah, looks like there's not much he can do.
The thing is, Danny has 3 attacks here, and he's tapped.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, why isn't he not tapped out? Oh. Yeah, so Danny has 3 attacks
has
here,
4
and Marcel's at
attacks here,
4.
right? He has Towa still.
3. Oh yeah, and Toa. Yeah,
No.
you're right. I'm thinking because the Android 18 attack. Yeah, that 18 is gonna eat an attack.
But Danny has the ability to just wipe Marcel's board.
Yeah, he does. Well, yeah, he has to go up to 25 to kill the 7.
No,
Because
it's
everything
just 20.
that
It's just the super the deadly defender is just 17 is 20.
No, the I'm talking about the limitless.
Oh yeah.
To clear his board, he has to clear that 25k.
Which he can do, right? Is Towa just is it a battle card or is it just is it leader card?
I believe
Or
it's
is it
just
cards?
leader.
Yeah, it's just leader. Okay, so you can go up to 20 on here. Let's see what Danny decides to do, man. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing Danny can do here is just.
I would play if I was Danny, I'd play Towa, give my leader plus 5k, attacking deadly defender 20k to 20k, kill that, and then you can attack again with your super 17 into
Strike
deadly
life
defender, and then
deadly
combo
defender, yeah.
combo Towa to go to 25, and then kill that.
Yeah,
At least get those two off the board, and then you're leaving your opponent with
no cards in hand and 2 tokens.
and 2 tokens, right? And you'll have 2 cards in hand at that point. So I mean,
But Danny's at 1.
right? I mean, it's still very tough to survive. It's just that looks like that gives you the best chance to maybe survive through, because he can't defend an attack from this Android 18 or Android 17 blocker. There's just no way. 25k coming at you. There's just no way. And plus, almost any card in Marcel's deck is live, right? So like, if Marcel draws almost anything, it'll kill him. So I think you just have to kill what you can, and then pray to the RNG gods that Marcel bricks.
RNG gods. I like that. I did that once, actually. I did that a few times on stream at the national championship during my top 8.
Danny decided to go for leader here. Danny getting deadly defender. Good card.
Yeah.
It's not going to mean a whole lot, though. Knocks Marcel to 2. There's Towa. Discard nothing. Kills a token. And then Danny's passing. Interesting. This seems like he's just dead to the 4-drop attack here.
Yeah, it's not looking good for
Actually,
Danny.
Marcel kind of bricking, honestly. Do you know what I mean? Like, look at his, like, he really can't play anything. I mean, like, if Danny could just survive that, he would have been fine. So that's interesting. All right, so Marcel taking game number 1. We're going to
Yep.
pop it back over to the caster desk while I get everything set up, and we'll let the players know they can get ready for game 2. So what do you think about that game? What do you think about that turn of events there, George?
Oh man, that was crazy. That was really. I don't think the Android 17 and 18 has an upper hand in that matchup. I'm fairly certain Super 17 is much stronger, but you need to hit the strides correctly. Like you need to be able to hit like all the strides, right? Like the ideal turn 3 you didn't see from Danny. He kind of had to respond with the cell chain because Marcel put so much pressure on him. But ideally, that deck should be able to set up a 3-drop 17, and then the following turn you cell chain them, and then you go into the Hellforged, which can also discard another 2 to keep your opponent card. Or same thing, you can go into the Furthering Heights, destroy their cell chain if they cell chained you, and then kind of just bounce back from there and then take over the game with Super 17. But it looked like Marcel just took a little bit more advantage like sooner, and that's the benefits of 17 and 18. It does dig you deeper into the deck a little bit faster. Granted, you see yourself awaken pieces, which Marcel was able to do. He was able to see 1, which was just enough because Danny's leader has to attack to net that additional card to burst and do all those things that Danny's deck wants to do. So it could have gone either way, but Marcel taking the upper hand.
Absolutely.
With some pretty interesting choice. I mean, there was a lot of like the scientist foods. I don't know, like that's something that I would never play in Cell, and you saw Marcel just and that Champa. You saw that Champa too. It didn't do anything that game, but Champa I think was a great thing that I wanted to add into the Android deck as well. But it's a good finisher because your opponent doesn't really see it coming. But very, very good. Should have done things slightly differently. It was terrible. Yeah, the hand was pretty bad.
So
Twins.
Ethan Craigton on YouTube says, any way we can see both players' hands? You can. So I always show the hand of the player that's playing currently. Yeah. It's just always in the same spot.
That's where I got confused because it's in the same like area down below, but he does switch between both hands, and then you can actually see the two.
Yeah, definitely. Also, guys, thank you all so much for watching. We really appreciate all the love and support. Don't forget to check out the Pro Play Tour at ppgeventmanagement.com.
So good. Yeah, the website is fantastic.
Many.
I did it all with my left pinky, blindfolded. Nobody else.
Also, over 100 viewers already, guys. Thank you all so much for
Really?
the support.
No way.
Yeah, over 100 through all the media. Appreciate you guys. We have 54 on Twitch, 46 on YouTube, and 19 on Facebook. So Twitch wrecking you guys. Twitch wrecking you guys. All right, looks like our players are ready for game number 2. Let's get everything.
I wonder what's going to come in through the sideboard here. I would not be surprised if Marcel puts in more scientist food. It looks like he loves that card.
Yes, absolutely. So again, I'm curious to see what they choose. Now remember, Marcel has 1 with androids. That's amazing check mark is now on there. And so he has Hirudegarn or Baby Vegeta. Danny choosing to stay with Super 17. That's his pick. And Marcel has not loaded his in, though. Remember, though, he's already selected his. He just didn't put the sub game yet. All right, so Baby Vegeta versus Super 17. All right,
Baby Vegeta.
Baby Vegeta. Marcel's hand is 2 Revenge Death Balls, a Fearless Pan, Scientist Fu, Supreme Kai of Time. Pretty sick cards. A lot of overwhelm. Danny choosing just to keep the 1 3-drop cell and doing a full mulligan here. Getting the Android 17 he needed, but doesn't get it to 18. It does have plenty of opportunity to draw it, though. All right, so Danny will be going first in this game.
So if you lose with a deck, you can still play it again?
Yes. If you lose, you can still play it, or you can switch. It doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want to off of the loss. But if you win, you have to choose a new deck, obviously.
Guys, website is right there in the chat. Those of you who requested it, go ahead, check it out. Let us know if there's anything wrong with it. It was completely redesigned and renewed from the last event management website that we had, which was just Dragon Ball Super. This one's going to be Yu-Gi-Oh, Vanguard, and Dragon Ball Super, of course. So let us know if there's any any type of interaction that we need to change on there. But sideline assist Bulma. I love that super card.
Me too. I like it a lot too. I like it too because it's an Earthling, so you can get it from everyone's.
Damn it! You beat me to it.
Get wrecked.
I was gonna say it. Damn it! Why do you look so smart and I look so stupid?
Well, it's easy.
It's easy. I hate you. Oh my god, what? Oh, Marcel, next level, charging a super combo. This is actually obviously like he has 2 black cards which you can never charge here. But yeah, you're not charging cell chain because that's your. I mean, you're not charging chain attack because that's your out cell chain. And charging super combos is actually not the worst thing, especially playing against a cell chain type deck, because chances are they're going to cell chain you before you awaken and even have a chance to keep those super combos. So it is not the worst play in the world. I definitely like playing the Planet M2 instead of charging Planet M2 in passing. I'd much rather the line that Marcel took, which was really heads up, charge a super combo, even though a lot of people just treat it like gold. They're like, no, I can't throw away my gold. But no, you can't sometimes. Trust me. It's definitely, there's been times where I've charged super combos many times where I know I'm going to get stalled out or something, especially if you're playing the 4 or less life ones.
Absolutely. Ethan Craigington, that's a good point, and we'll definitely try to do that, guys. I'll try. I think I have an idea of how I can show both players' hands at all times. So I'll try to figure out. I'll try to test that. Remember, guys, this is just a test run for this type of a thing. If this is successful, everyone loves it. I'll make some changes to it. I want your feedback. Please give me your feedback, and then I'll try my best when we start doing this consistently in January to try to put those into effect. All right, Marcel playing down Forcing Hit as his energy to red up, attacking 10,000 to 10,000. Vegeta baby to Super 17. This isn't actually the best matchup for Vegeta baby. I feel like a lot of the stuff he can do is negated by all the barrier cards that androids have. But we'll see.
And that Planet M2 putting in that work.
Yes, Planet M2. How cool. All right, Marcel passing to Danny. Danny does have the ability to cell chain from here. We'll see if he decides to or not. He might just actually play out Hellfighter 17 is what I expect, and then pass from there. He doesn't really want to cell chain until he has a Hellfighter 17 on board established. That way he can go from Hellfighter 17 into the Infernal machine, and then essentially just discard your entire hand. Danny charging a super combo. Interesting.
Yep, only the best players charge super combo.
Absolutely.
I charge turns 1 through 4. I don't need them.
All right, 10,000 to 10,000. Super 17 into Vegeta Baby, milling a Deadly Defender and a Dr. Gero, and drawing another 4-drop Super 17, which is a good draw. This is essentially a free pitch. He can pitch this as a combo, he can pitch this as a defense, and then get it back with the 3-drop if he wanted. It's always good to have those in play. Yep, and then there's the Hellfighter we talked about. And Danny's passing, setting up for that huge cell chain. Has everything in hand to do so.
No, yeah, that's ideally what this deck wants to do on turn 3. It's not the other cell chain. It's this one right here. This is the guy that's going to bite you in the butt. Not right now, but in a few turns, you'll see. He turns into a huge menace and a huge problem for the opponent, letting you effectively cell chain twice in one turn, which is devastating.
Absolutely. Yes, Nightshade, they have to win with all 3 of their leaders to win.
So, interesting here. I think in general, right, any Zeno strategy should be favored in any type of cell chain strategy. So we're going to see if Marcel is indeed playing the Zeno. It would be hard to believe that he's not, but I don't know. I saw Scientist Fu in an Android deck, so I don't know.
Well, I agree. I understand what you're saying, and I completely agree. I think, obviously, Chantak intensifying power is very, very good, but what Marcel has to be really careful of here is Danny getting to 4 energy before he cell chains. Because if that happens, and honestly, even without that, Danny can actually discard him down to 1 card in hand, which means he can't cell chain unless he
can't
unless he
keep
gets lucky off the top deck.
Yep, that's a very good thing to know. Danny's deck is actually good at actually being able to rip that cell chain, chain attack.
Oh, he's not okay. There's Chantak into Fearless Pan, trying to put some pressure. I love this play.
Woo!
I
love this play.
Yeah. He just knows. He knows it can happen. So he might as well deal with it now.
Mm-hmm.
So this is 25k in a 3-drop. See if Danny has a way to defend this, which he does. Remember, the good thing about this Super 17 combo, it differs from Cell in that it can grab the pieces from the graveyard. And so what Danny can do is actually play Super 17 to defend and the other 4-drop 17, which I actually did as I touched them. That's weird. And protect this essentially for free. A very good play by Marcel, though. Very, very good heads-up play. Denavim says in Twitch says if you're a real man, you would look your opponent dead in the eyes and charge a Dragon Ball when you're playing Shinron. Just go, I don't care.
That's
All right.
That's level of snappage.
That's how you do it, man. 15k double strike into 10k Vegeta Baby into Android 17 or Super 17. I'm sorry. Shocking Death Ball coming out. Danny at 3 life. So his super combos are now live. He's able to awaken on his turn, which is not ideal for Marcel, meaning that he can actually still do his combo. He can do both cell chains next turn, I think, pretty easily.
For
awaken. Oh,
he's not going to be able to go into.
Well, you wouldn't pay 4. You would just
the big version.
Right. I'm talking about the Infernal, right? So
the Infernal.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So he can cell chain Marcel down to 3, cell chain. Or I'm sorry, Infernal to 1 card in hand, and then Tawa or super combo to completely negate the hand. But we'll see what Danny decides to do. A lot of 5 drops.
Yeah.
Two in energy is pretty. 2 in energy is pretty scary.
Danny looks like pretty talkative right now, pretty emotional. I wonder
Well,
what his hand.
half of your cell chains are in your hand. I mean,
he's like, well, if I go into this and I don't have it,
it's
probably
pretty
gonna look
unlikely
really
he
bad.
doesn't have it, but it's not impossible.
It could be in his life.
Both players laughing right now, so my guess is that Danny found it. What? But that's a possibility. It happened. I mean, you're an Android player. You know what happens.
No, dude, thankfully it hasn't happened in critical scenarios to me. But yeah, no, there could be like against Storm, like where they leave you down to 2, and then you're just like, I need the cell chain to resolve, but you've gotten all your pieces, and it's just like it's over. Like that could have easily happened. I remember in top 16 there was a crucial moment where I had to have 2 5-drops in my deck to kill 2 blockers in order to go for game, and I hit that last one right on the river. It was fantastic.
Right on the river, he says. Absolutely. All right.
Dude, it was just like, dude, if I don't have this, I lose. Like normally a cell chain you just need 1 of each piece, right? But what if you need to kill like 2 things, right? Then you go 5-drop, 7-drop, So
right.
It can happen, and you can draw it, right? Like how scary would it be, right? You go into drop the first one, draws the last 5-drop. You're like, oh my god, imagine that. Like I made a little, I made a little prayer to the RNG guys. I was like, dude, please, just anything but the 5-drop cell right here in that win.
I wish there was a way I could see Danny's drop area. That's something we'll have to talk to Brandon about, because I don't know how many of the Infernal or the Hellfighter Evil Revived are in his or he has the ability to play. I'm trying to figure out what Danny's best line of play is. It's very tricky. Marcel always does such a good job playing 1 defensive card and making his turns a lot harder to figure out. Looks like he is going to go with the promo, though.
I like keeping up the Fearless Pan here.
I know what I'm saying. Like that card just makes this turn so much harder for Danny to figure out.
Yeah, really, really good. It's got barrier too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Pan has barrier. Yes, sir.
Man, that pan is insane. They should have bought out those pans when you were hyping it.
I tried to get everybody to do it. Hashtag pan fam.
It did end up going up to $15 for a while.
Danny has so many criticals.
Yeah, that's a good thing about the Super 17. which I'm on right now. I'm playing it a lot, and I just like having the crit inherently on the backside. I feel like I'm playing Vegeta all over again.
All right, Danny draws another 3-drop cell. Could actually have been a good draw if he would have had another 17 in hand. Stout Harding to get rid of that last card, which is a Scientist Fu. Both players are pretty bummed about that. And Marcel pretty bummed it was a Scientist Fu. Danny very excited. Okay.
The emotion.
The emotion. So we'll see. Danny going to attack in for a 30k and then the 15. And probably pass here, I would imagine. Right? Yes, there's the pass. Give you Marcel not very many ways to get back from this, but Marcel getting a good card off the top. This allows him to put quite a bit of pressure in.
Jeez, that card's insane. How many?
He can.
What's Oh, Marcel's at 5.
Yeah, Marcel's at 5 life. Yes.
Ah, that's so awkward.
It
Well,
is.
Vegeta Baby actually self-awakened.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
He can self-awaken on the front side.
That's not bad.
Give Cell down to 25k. Use Planet M2, now it goes down to 20. Gives plus 5k with this Supreme Kai of Time. So he can essentially just, with almost no effort, kill this 7-drop Cell.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Well, he's actually going to choose the 4-drop. Off for the minus 5k.
Interesting. I wonder why. Doesn't Vegeta Baby do what is it?
Vegeta Baby's backside, I think he gives it
Minus 10k.
minus
right?
10k, and then he can Planet M2 and kill it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And he can actually kill this Overwhelm card with his backside if he needs to. Actually, I think it's minus 10k on the back, so like I don't think it kills this Overwhelm card, but it's a good target for the pitch.
He's going to go towards life here. Danny at 3. He's going to go down to 2. Double strike range. Marcel's probably going to combo both of these on this attack, so when he flips, he can untap that 2 energy.
Yeah, I would imagine at least the Unbreakable, but it looks like he actually says no combo.
What?
Interesting choice.
Huh. I would imagine he would want to take advantage of...
Ooh.
Unless he
Actually,
plans
just
on
gonna
staying
play
unawakened.
Vegeta. Okay, I see. And then awakens off that, readies 2.
All right, that works too.
Yeah, as long as you that's the biggest. I would say that's one of the hardest things to learn when you're playing a leader when awakens or readies 2 energy is maximizing that ready 2 energy. That's so important.
You have to.
Yeah, so what he's going to do is use this ability. It says choose one of your battle cards that loses minus 15,000 power for the duration of the turn. If you do so, choose up 2 of your opponent's battle cards. And they lose minus 10,000 power. So now this poor Super 17 is down to only 5k power left with the M2 on the field. So that's huge. He's going to be able to kill this card for free, which is devastating. I mean, it can be devastating for Danny. Danny with no counters in hand, no way to stop him from maximizing this Planet M2. So it looks like the Super 17 is going to be Dundee. All right, so there's 20k into 15k. Gets to draw a card. After image technique, that's actually pretty huge as well.
That card's insane.
Yeah, that card is great. Marcel doing a good job building his hand back up.
Yeah, for a leader that untaps 2 instead of drawing 2.
Okay, we'll see what happens here. Yeah, Danny takes it and goes to 2. 2 to 4. 3 cards in hand to 2 cards in hand. Danny up by 1 card, which isn't as many cards as you would think, considering the fact that he has cell chained and put Marcel to 0 cards. right, so 15,000 to 15,000. Double shot Vegeta into Super 17. Let's see what Danny's response is. Take a look at Danny's hand. Again, has the ability to, I think, deal with this attack pretty easily. See if he decides to take it, though. Going to 1 life is pretty scary. Okay, does decide to defend it. And Marcel passes with a blocker up. Danny drawing his 4th and final evolving evil life form Cell. Goes straight to his hand here. See what Danny decides to do. Decides to charge it. Ooh, taking it back. I like the idea of keeping this. He can 7-drop here if he wanted. He could 5-drop and then you can absorb with the 18 and go back and go to 7-drop and have 2 7-drops in play.
Marcel at 4?
Yeah, it's 4-2 right now.
It's going to be pretty hard. 4 is always that number when you start the turn. It's like, unless you're playing like Storm, I don't really like seeing my opponent on 4 when I'm trying to kill turn.
Right.
Like in Storm, I'm just like 4, that's perfect. That's 2 attacks. But in anything else, it's kind of hard to get there.
I'm not sure Danny has to kill this turn though. I think Danny could survive. But it's going to be very tricky to see what happens. Planet M2 is a huge card. Be able to knock your opponent down to 10k is huge.
I don't know how I like that charge from Danny though.
Yeah, that card seems really good.
I don't know if he has to charge.
All right, so 15,000 to 15,000 critical. Danny draws a card off the ability. He draws a Stout Heart 16. That is huge. We'll see what Marcel decides to do here.
Yeah, super combo is pretty big here, especially when Marcel has so little in hand.
Okay. And he does have access to a Gohan, but I don't think he's going to be using... What's really weird about this, I don't see any of these cards in Danny's hand that he would want to play, though that Android 18 seemed like a good play this turn, though. So keeping the 5-drop is somewhat... keeping the 5-drop in hand makes sense if you keep the 18 in hand, but keeping the 5-drop in hand and then charging the 18 doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And there's Gohan coming down. Attacking the leader. 5k into 15k.
Ooh. Crit.
Life.
That's all that Super 17 is all
gets
about.
Hellfighter from that. That's a huge draw. Okay. So right now, it looks like Danny could be in a pretty decent position. He could use the 7-drop to kill, just attack straight into this Vegeta, kill it. Who cares? Let it die. You know, cat attack this, clear the board up, play out your Hellfighter 17, and then just pass. I think he can survive with a super combo in hand and another like two 10Ks in hand. Makes a lot of sense to me. It's gonna be hard.
Yeah. I think it's good. You get rid of the Vegeta, you play the Super 16, and you pass.
Yeah, I think it would be pretty hard, I think, for Vegeta for Marcel to kill from that position.
I don't like how Danny put himself to 1 life off that go. Kind of wild. Maybe it was just heads up by Danny, knowing that off the top.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not
Because
sure.
Marcel can hypothetically just charge rip his hand and kill.
After image technique is pretty huge here too.
Yeah.
But does Danny care? I mean, like if he attacks him with 7-drop into Vegeta, let's say that's the play, and Marcel uses after image technique to stop it.
Definitely.
Okay.
He definitely does that just to see another card.
Right.
I think that's what he would want to do.
So you think he sparkings it? So you think he just uses?
I think he sparkings
he
it
can't.
just
He only
because
has
he
3
needs.
cards in drop. So
Oh, he
can't
only has
sparking.
3 in drop. Oh,
Yeah.
sad faces.
That is sad face. So if he uses after image technique, stops the 7-drop attack. Do you attack in with Hellfighter 17 if you're Danny to kill the Vegeta?
Huh. I think I would go. Yeah, I think I'd go up the ladder on the 17 chain just to Vegeta because I don't want that Vegeta. Like if you're at 1, you can't sustain multiple attacks, especially if your hand is as weak as Danny's hand. It was just what, a super combo and one more card. Yeah, super combo and Cell.
Danny could like theoretically win this turn. Like I think that's maybe what he's trying to figure out. He could win this turn. He could literally just use the Union.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Go
He can
to double strike.
the Enforged, yeah.
But what's like? I think that's the tough part with Danny right now. I think he's trying to think like, what do I do? Because another thing to remember too, if Danny didn't charge this 18, right? If this 18 was in his hand, he could do that play and have a super combo up.
Yeah.
So I think this is what Danny's taking his time trying to figure out what he wants to do. Do I want to go for it? Because it's pretty likely that Marcel can beat it.
Because what if he does the super? If he does the. He rips both cards out of Marcel's hand.
Yep.
He hits him for double strike. There's no response from Marcel because he has no cards in hand. He takes a 2. Marcel falls a 2, right? And then the perfect cell is lethal, but you're at the mercy of the 2 cards that Marcel picks up from his life, from the double strike, the first double strike, the 20k that you want to attack with. So
looks like Danny's going
that's
for
where
it.
the risk goes. But yeah, I mean Marcel literally has to get super top or super combo into a super combo.
Right. I think this is the right play by Danny. We'll see though.
Yeah,
it's
we'll
possible
see.
that Marcel just gets. It's possible Marcel just gets a negate here. Chain attack, negate, unbelievable. Negate. There it is. Ah, unbelievable.
How clean.
Unbelievable
Man
off
is
the top.
clean. Ladies and gentlemen, they don't call him Mr. Clean.
Jeez. I think they're just going to call that good game there, but I think they're just going to fish it up really quick.
Holy cow.
Attacking 15k to 15k. Danny has obviously. And that's game. No cards in hand. There it is. Jeez. Off the top.
I mean, yeah, in retro, or in hindsight, you do, you attack with the cell first, but the chances of him hitting a negate off the life versus hitting a 5k and a 5k, which is all he would need to out combo. Oh, look at Peter Katani behind me, his muscles and stuff. I think the chances,
the cell can't, the other cell can't be negated, right?
The 17, right. But like,
that's
you either lose to one thing or you lose the other, right?
But that's the thing, though.
The negate, we're lower.
If he would have attacked with cell first, well, I guess he would have won in theory, right? Because he could have only matched it 20 to 20.
Yeah.
Right.
But think about it, Marcel could have also gotten super combo and 5k, or like 5k, even 5k from Marcel would have
beat it. So I think that was the right sequencing.
No, it was right. It's just you got the negate. Like, that's so crazy. And then in another parallel universe, people are going for the other play and then losing to, or just winning because
what Danny did was correct.
Yeah, what Danny did was correct. Pretty much what we're saying. In hindsight, obviously, like. Oh, I messed up because you saw what was there, but
no,
like
he did what was correct.
Yeah,
if you attack with the other 2 cards that are in his hand, he can use.
Yeah, of course.
So like, You just have
Yeah,
to
those
put
two
them on.
cards gate off life. Of course, Mr. Clean Marcel. Maybe if you play against Marcel, you take a different line, right? Because you expect like he'll get like the lucky card, right? So you just I'm just gonna completely play this the opposite of the right way, which is how I feel usually when I play against him.
Right,
It's
absolutely.
like,
Super sick
this
game.
is a
though.
man like you'll
Super
lose
sick
to,
game.
and you're playing Shenron. It's like what? How?
All right, guys. All right, so we're getting ready to go into the game. We're going to pop it over to the game now and let them go to game number 3. See what leaders they pick here. Marcel going with Herudagon, which shouldn't be any surprise. That's the only deck he has left to play. And Danny going with Trunks. Now, that's the great thing about this Conquest format is Danny is down quite a bit here, but Danny does know what leader Marcel has to play. And so Danny is choosing Trunks here, knowing that that the only deck available is Herudagon, which you can pretty much guess is going to be Storm. And so this tells me that Danny is pretty confident that this Trunks deck can beat Herudagon.
Man. And Marcel whipping out the Storm. I don't know if it can. Trunks is also a pretty aggressive deck. Probably not as aggressive, but still aggressive for sure.
All right. Marcel playing Genie in main board in the in Storm. That's very interesting. We talked a lot about it yesterday, and none of the players seem to think that these free blockers, except the Trunks version, obviously, was that great.
Really?
Yeah.
The Genie is really good. All of them. Even when I was playing Android, the free Krillin was great.
Danny's hand looking pretty good. Does have a Sensu Bean main hand and a Whis Excursion, which is okay. So he does have the ability to at least defend himself a little bit here. We'll see what happens. Danny does get to go first, which is another, looks like he's going to have to charge the Whis Excursion turn 1, though, to have the Sensu Bean available if he needs it. Going with red energy turn 1, passing. Ooh, actually going to play Intensifying Power Trunks, tapping out turn 1 against Storm. Very interesting play by Danny.
Woo! Man, that's kind of risky. Got to risk it to get the biscuit sometimes, I guess.
All right. No Bardock, though, but he does have Successor he just drew off the top that he can use to get the Bardock, which is obviously very important. So now his hand's actually looking pretty terrifying. He has the ability to attack a couple times this turn and actually play Goten and bounce it back to his hand if he needs to, or if he really wanted to, just flute the Intensifying Power Trunks back to Danny's hand if he's worried about like maybe Chain Attack coming down next turn or something. So a lot of options by Marcel. Going to charge that Genie.
Yeah, the only problem with that free blocker is matchups, really. But the good thing is that in this deck, you normally need good yellow energy, and there are going to be some cards inevitably that are bad in certain matchups. And Gene's definitely one that is bad in probably the most amount of matchups, depending on if you play against Storm or not. So it's a really solid yellow energy, for sure.
See what top 3 cards. We can't see. Actually, I can't see what 3 cards Marcel looks at off the top here, but looks like he's going to take Unyielding Spirit Trunks. Pretty good one to take here.
Yeah, that's normally what Goten finds his counterpart.
Yeah,
Baby Trunks. It only makes sense. Only if this deck played Gotenks. It'd be the ultimate flavor.
All right, goes the 15k here. I like this play. Gonna play another Bardock. Gets fine Nimbus. Attacks for another 10k. 10k into 10k. There's Dependable Dynasty Son Goku. Interesting that Marcel didn't bounce back the Goten to dig further into his deck here. Trust 2.
Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. I don't know why he didn't do that.
But he might just
Because
want
that's usually the first.
wanting to save Flute for like Crisis Crusher though.
I guess. I mean, that can be a thing, but Crisis Crusher is not super devastating.
But if fleeting back the 1-drop.
Okay, that makes sense. So he can't chain attack him straight out the bat.
All right, we'll see here what Danny decides to do. Not a lot of options here, though. His super combos aren't turned on either, right? You have to have 5 cards in warp for that. So Danny not being able to even super combo next turn is going to be devastating.
Yeah, that's actually going to be pretty bad, but we'll see if... Marcel obviously doesn't know this information.
Right. All right, so 10k into 10k, Trunks into Goten. Trunks' effect still does trigger. Remember, this does trigger off just the attack. Gets to put 2 cards on the top of his deck into the drop area. And then if there's a red or blue card in your battle area or drop area, draw 1 card. So that's going to happen. So he loses a Time Patrol Trunks and a Unbreakable Son Goku, both 2 amazing defensive cards.
Yeah, some of the best, but...
He draws a Dignity Vegeta. Not really what he's looking for here either. Danny, I think, is trying to figure out if he wants a combo. Looks like he's going to try to combo to make sure these are live, which I like a lot. Because now he can play Mass Saiyan, and if he wants to, just kill the other threat.
Yeah, the Mass Saiyan is going to be huge.
Yep.
Card is muy bueno.
Okay, so now Danny's super combos are turned on. That's huge. That's going to be... All right, so 20,000 into 10,000 double strike, knocking Marcel straight to 4 here. Another pretty good play by Danny. Actually attacking Storm can be a great way to stifle their aggression because they can't play as many Bardoks against you now.
Yeah, Marcel, I 100% agree that a lot of people are scared to hit Storm, and it's just like you have to hit Storm or they're going to hit themselves. And when they hit themselves off the cards, it's just more beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Danny choosing to get the Unbreakable back off the Awaken. Still pretty good. Awakening on turn 2 is pretty huge against Storm, honestly. Having 15k static is pretty good. It really shuts down those Bardoks as well.
Exactly.
So yeah, this actually
doesn't completely shut them down, but yeah, they have to ditch more cards.
Right. Yeah. I wonder if this was the plan for Danny. I wonder why he didn't attack into the leader. Why not attack into the leader, combo into the leader, knock your opponent from, down to 5 life. Yeah. Well, he was at 6. So it would have been 6 to 5, and then play Mass Saiyan, clear his board with the effect, and then attack in from 5 to 3.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Marcel looking at a pretty good hand, but it's missing Goten.
It is. It's missing Goten. It's actually missing any swap target at all. No Goten.
Well, the successor can get him to 15k, but that's not really what you want to be doing. But
it's
I guess
also
it's
missing
better
a blue
now.
charge as well. All of these cards. It's also missing a blue charge.
Oh,
all of these cards
you're
are
right.
very good.
You're right.
You can charge Sensibine, but all right.
I overlooked that one. Correct.
Going for Grandpa Gohan, great pick.
That's what I don't like. Honestly, as crazy as... Or in Storm, I'm sorry.
So now
as crazy as that might seem...
Vegeta for the Goten. Play out.
Yeah, he can.
Grandpa
it just seems terrible. That just feels terrible.
So you can plan out Vegeta for Goten. So these Bardock here. Take a life. Oh man, gets probably the worst card you get off the top. But this is a good blue energy for next turn.
Yeah.
And then there's the Planet Vegeta For his
Only
swap
downside to
target.
playing that package, just seeing legs when you don't want to see
Ooh,
them.
gets the Bardock. I didn't even know he ran Bardock in the package. Sick. So he does go get the Bardock Ape, which is fantastic. He can awaken with Farudigan after this
For
attack
sure.
here.
I think that Bardock Ape is now mainstay, especially with so much.
One thing that really stinks about Danny's position here in this matchup too is that Danny has to beat Storm 3 times in a row to win this matchup, which is pretty hard to do.
Yeah. When your bubble matches
Yeah,
Storm, and
yeah,
you have to win a match. It's definitely the hardest thing to do. Usually, it's a little bit easier, if you play it off the bat first. But
All right, there's the Sensu Bean by Danny going to 20 and then playing out Unbreakable. Gets another Sensu Bean. A very good draw. 20k and the 20k double strike. Marcel drawing Mira, pretty good card. So this is 25k into 20. Gets the unready energy. And he's going to super combo as well. Really, really wanting to knock Danny to 2.
no, knocking your opponent down to 2 in Storm.
Yeah, it's
what
fantastic.
you want to be.
Yep. Especially when you have Battering in hand. So now all he
Mira
needs is
and
Choppa.
Battering.
Right.
And knowing Marcel, his next few cards are probably gonna include a Champa of sorts.
He might super combo here again. Let's see. Because if he gets Champa here off that draw, that's not going to be it. But if he got Champa off that draw, that would essentially be game.
Yeah, let's see if he can dig it out. This deck does see a lot of cards, so it would not be unlikely.
Marcel in a really weird spot here, though. Has a swap, but nothing to swap into.
Man, I found myself in that position.
Quite a bit, right?
But yeah, I'm not gonna split. I'm not gonna lie. We were testing today a few Storm matchups, and it's just like that happens a lot.
All right. Grandpa
Scary.
go on. And just passing. All right. Danny, with the Mass Sand draw, is actually a pretty sick draw. He can actually clear his board. He can clear the Ape and the Grandpa Gohan, leaving Marcel in a pretty bad position with no swap target in hand or anything to play swap targets out with. Actually, no, he can't. It's non-blockers. I haven't seen this card in so long, but it's non-blockers. Actually, both these cards have blockers, so you can't actually kill
Yeah,
anything.
non-blockers. That is the key downside to Mass.
Jeez, it's been forever since I've seen this card. I love this card too. This card is just amazing. All right, so the Trunks comes out for energy. 2 red, 1 blue. Danny was still a pretty defensive hand, but beating Mira is going to be hard. All right, so here's 15,000. Flying Nimbus. Pitching a Flying Nimbus. Only giving Danny 1 more attack. Going down to 4 cards in hand. Ooh, forcing hit is huge for Danny. All right, Danny, see what card he gets off the top 2 here. Gets a Tensifying Power Trunk. Another pretty decent draw. He could just drop a Tensifying Power Trunk just to have it out ready for next turn. 15,000 to 15,000, and that's going to get a block.
Can. Really not much else. Yeah, maybe do that and use his other red energy for or something.
This is pretty interesting. I wonder if Danny... This is his last attack this turn.
Well, yeah, unless he swings with intensifying, which he probably won't.
Well, he got Flying Nimbus, so he can only attack.
Oh, he got Nimbus. I'm sorry.
So here's paying 1 red for Bardock, going to 25k, 30k.
What else does Trunks do on the pack?
He can give himself double strike. So
Okay.
yeah, it says when this card attacks, draw 1 card, then you may choose 5 cards in your drop area and send them to your warp. If you do so, this card gains plus 5,000 power and double strike. And then he can also, once per turn, place up to 2 cards on the top of his deck in the drop area.
Interesting. Oh, and it does grab a battle card.
All right, so it looks like. All right, there's that blue energy Marcel needed, so that's good. But
Yep.
no swap though. He has nothing to swap with. He can Planet Vegeta for a Bardock,
No.
but that's his.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, no, but that's his only ability to swap. Gets a Goten, making that Planet Vegeta into Bardock looking a little bit more better, like a little bit more enticing. That's 4 mana worth of free cards. All right, so there's a Sensu Bean. 20-20. Danny does not need to take this. He might even negate this. Yeah, there's the negate. Okay. A lot of plays still left for Marcel. I still like the Planet Vegeta and the Bardock actually here now, because now he can actually play Bardock. I don't know. His opponent is at 20k. It's just so
Yeah,
tough.
it's hard. Yeah, I don't think you want to invest that much. It's going to be very productive for you. And Danny's still at 4, and he's a 20k leader here.
Oh, he's just gonna play Goten out. Okay. Yeah, I love the idea of just playing of just having Goten. Like, you want to look at the top 3. He wants to get that Champa or Kai, whatever he plays.
Yeah, there's no drawback to attacking with Goten,
Nice, super.
even if you have no aspirations or intent to go and trade up. You just want to see that extra card. Oof.
Pass.
It's a
Man.
Hoy.
Marcel running out of gas here.
Oh, he's got a Hoy. He's got some pretty good cards, but he knows that you can't force it with Storm. If you force a bad turn with Storm, you're going to bit. So it's pretty heads up playing it a little bit slower here. Danny surviving to turn
4.
to turn 4. That's huge.
That is huge.
Turn 4 against Storm is when things start tipping your way. So.
But Danny having to tap out to take advantage of this position is going to be pretty interesting. So here's Chain Attack coming out into Zeno. There's the Danny Hype signature play. Players reset their hand to 5. Though Danny can give his leader double strike here. That is important to remember. So all he has to do here is just attack Hirudegarn 1 time, knock him to 2, and then he can actually give himself double strike and 5k. So that means he'll go to 20k and can try to take advantage of it that way. Danny drawing a super combo. That's pretty huge.
Oh,
Trunks overpowering time, which is a combo card, and for seeing a hit. So Danny can go to 40k double strike if the Zeno connects.
That's unfortunate. You got 2 1Ks there. Or 10Ks, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I call 1Ks. 10Ks.
So there's the Zeno, 15k into 15k. He might just call him with the super combo here, honestly. Go to 25k. No, he just went 15k to 15k. Interesting play again by Danny. Now attacking with leader. Danny getting a Whis Excursion off the draw.
Fights.
6-4. Marcel to 4. Though what's good here is that Marcel doesn't have the Mira. So gets no Mira, charges the Battering. Battering not necessary when your opponent's tapped out.
Nope.
Not as good on this turn.
Not as good. I mean, what can it stop? It can stop the free negates, but that's really about it. Like, I would like to keep that card. It's a Dimension Magic. For sure.
Well, he's not. He's a black leader, actually. So.
Yeah, no. I'm just
Oh,
saying,
yeah,
yeah. If my opponent, like, if depending on what their leader is, if they have access to that free negate, like, I definitely want to keep that. But yeah, I think the only one that Danny has, if he plays Power Burst.
You're right, Power Burst, yeah.
Which is like, sure, whatever, you have it.
Yeah, but I think Marcel making the intelligent play here because I think if you see Whis Excursion from your opponent played in an energy, then you know that he's not going to run Whis Excursion and Power Burst. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to run, 8 negates or that many negates. Marcel, though, he did get a Bardock. It's very good. 15k to 15k.
Marcel utilizing this Harudigar backside, which is
you never see that happen. Yeah,
it's a backbreaker. You never see it happen in Storm. They're like very, very
rarely do you see it.
Rarely do you see them ever take advantage.
Danny
it is deadly.
Danny choosing to put Whis Excursion on top of his deck. Good energy for next turn. Unusable this turn, so.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's so funny how much harder it is to make plays when you don't know each player's hand. Like, there's this...
Like, we have it easy.
Right, I know. I mean, I'm looking at this like, Danny could have won last turn, but it's like, he has no idea that's the case. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many plays that we see, and we're just like, holy crap. All right, using the Trunks Power Overseeing Time. Such a sick card, by the way. I love that card. This is actually a deck that was created and then by Colby Garish. Plays down in your area sometimes. Fantastic player from KTM, and then I think it was for North Carolina, maybe the North Carolina regional. Danny and Trey and a bunch of people got together and they kind of started tweaking it and working on it a little bit more. And it was just kind of the KTM pet deck is this Trunks deck. It's like it's kind of created in house, and it's such a fun deck to watch. I also think you might be muted, by the way. I don't know if you're muted or not, George, but I can't hear you.
Yeah. No, I'm not muted.
Okay. Marcel has a heck of a turn here to try to figure out. Okay, flip over to Marcel's hand here, sorry. No swap target in hand. Did draw the Mira, though. And
I still can't see Marcel.
I'll
okay,
switch
there we
over.
go.
I'm sorry,
okay,
I was
okay,
the wrong
perfect.
one. Yeah, but
I was like, what? How is he seeing it? Is that might that behind?
No. Danny hype with the disconnect here.
Wait, can you reconnect?
Yeah, he's back. Okay.
Okay.
I was like, uh-oh.
Rage quit. No, I'm just kidding. You would never do that.
Okay.
Life is Danny hype at 4, Marcel at 2. Danny's at 4, which is I mean,
huge.
It's okay. That's what Storm wants to see your opponent at. But the problem is Marcel doesn't have access to do 2 double strikers right now.
Right.
So
But that could change once he attacks with Goten, though.
Yeah, that can change. That can change within an instant.
Right. So 10k to 15k. Going to use Sensu Bean. Goes 15 to 15. Danny with the ability to combo Foreseeing Hit to get out of this if he wants. Or he could take it. He's going to take it and draws the big boy Zeno. Not the card you want to see. Then here comes Goten.
Danny praying to the heavens.
Really surprised that Danny decided to take that hit. Gets 2 double strike cards. So now actually, if Marcel wants, he could just...
Oh my god. Well, it doesn't matter. But yeah, Danny's at 3 now, so he only chop him.
Right.
If he didn't take it, that actually probably would.
That would have been huge.
Yeah,
huge.
Danny just next leveled. He knew that Marcel would get the second one, or probably has 2 Champas.
Right. With the way this series has been going, Danny's just like, you know what?
Yeah.
Marcel has it. Whatever it is,
I'm just
he
gonna
has
give
it.
him the benefit of the doubt every time. Like one of the 4 ideal cards, he probably has them.
So what Marcel decides to take here. Looks like he took... I didn't see what he took. Looks like I think he took this Trunks, though, is what it ended up taking. Okay, so this is 10, 20, 35. So this is 35k. Danny can beat this. 45k. Going to be a lot harder to beat that. 15, 25, 30. And honestly, though, I think Danny has to just go for it. I think you just have to try to beat this. So, yeah, here he goes. 10 into a Whis Excursion. Gonna have to take the 2 hits. The Planet M2 and an Unbreakable. And there's Mira.
Whew.
Good game.
GG's.
Mr. Marcel Russell coming in with the Mira attack for $1 million.
God, ban Mira. Hashtag ban Mira.
Definitely.
Very powerful. Damn. Great series, man.
That
was
was super
insane.
good series. Love this format. It's so much fun to see.
Super fun. Fantastic. I love it. Storm inevitably taking the top spot, as always. You can see the power of a lot of those decks were really good. The Baby Vegeta was very good, and the Android decks, both of them, I think were great. So, really cool series. Like they weren't playing the same deck every single time, which I really like about this format. You just pick 3 different decks, 4 different decks, ban one, and then what did they ban? What was the ban? Do we know?
Danny's ban was Shenron, and then
Shenron.
Marcel's ban was Hercule.
He has a nice Christmas tree.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. April actually did the Christmas tree. So she did that. She does. We actually have 2 Christmas trees too. I don't know if you guys can see over here. We have another one that she did too. She did a Santa Christmas tree over there. So pretty
Sounds like
good.
Anna.
It's pretty cool when you have a crafty wife that does a bunch of stuff.
Dude.
Yeah. So I knew
Sounds like
I knew
Anna.
all along. That's why I wore the PPG sweatshirt. I knew that you guys were gonna win. I knew it. It was the pink eye. No, but to be fair, I was set up, so I always had a way to win, right? I always had to set up. I
had to set up no matter who won.
Yeah, I could switch it whenever. Yeah, my plan was that whatever team was ahead, so whoever was ahead, I was gonna just switch. I was gonna switch it. I was gonna switch to see if anybody noticed. But Marcel just 3-0'd to kind of put a little nip in that plan. But amazing games with our players. I'm actually going to pop them on. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to unmute them real quick. Hey guys, you guys are going to be unmuted. Can you guys hear us?
Oh.
Yeah. So I'll let you guys talk a little bit. We'll take some viewer questions, guys, and then I'll let George talk some more about the Pro Play Tour, and then we'll get out of here, guys. Just a fun little series for you guys, something to show kind of what we've been working on. But if you guys have any questions, let us know at Kitchen Tail Meta in chats, and just let me know who you asked a question for, and then I'm going to ask a default question to both of these players, and then we'll just go from there. We'll get out of here. Also, guys, by the way, thank you. Almost 200 viewers already, guys. It's like actually watching, so thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate all your love and support.
Jeez,
really
200
means a
people
lot.
watch me get my ass whooped.
Whoa, it wasn't that bad. All right, so we'll start with the champ. Marcel, default question number 1. What made you choose your decks? What went behind choosing your 4 decks?
EBS decks, the top 32 nationals.
Got it. Yeah, love the
Look at the
answer.
deck list.
Let's went down the list and it was like, oh, this is popular. All right, this is popular. This is popular. You made me do 4, and I'm like, that's a lot of decks.
That is a lot.
So,
that is a lot. Yeah. How about you, Danny? What made you choose your 4?
I wanted to choose decks that were different to have like a little fun. Obviously, I wanted to win. Like I think these decks are still competitive. Obviously, I didn't showcase the greatest, but I think the meta's pretty diverse. That maybe on another day I could beat Marcel with those particular decks, but today was just not my day. But I just like them. I like Super 17. I like it better than Droids. I kind of wish I played one of my other decks on game 2 instead of just keeping my droids, my Super 17 out there, just so you guys can see. But yeah, the other one was Gogeta, which one of the guys on the team Zoo here, he's been having a lot of success with, and I figured I'd try that one out. And then I wanted to play one deck, just like an older deck that I just kind of hadn't played in a while, and I just missed. Like it was like one of my favorite decks back then, and that's Chain Zeno can make anything relevant, so I assumed it'd be okay.
Yeah, I was actually talking about that during the event there a little bit. Was like that's kind of like the KTM pet deck, that Xeno Trunks deck. Like I feel like every one of us has played that deck at an event and has always kind of fallen in love with that deck. That's really cool. Colby Garrosh made that deck, and then it was you and Trey and someone else maybe that kind of perfected it.
Colby, we kind of kept tinkering with it, and we all took it to that one event.
Yeah, sick.
It's really good.
Yeah. So, Marcel, I'm gonna ask this to both of you guys, but what did you guys? This is a viewer question on YouTube, and then I'll kind of modify it for both of you. What did you guys think of the Conquest format? Did you guys like it? What do you think?
It really makes you have to think about the diversity of the meta, like you said. So like you actually have to figure out 4 entirely different leaders and all different colors, right? That really pushes your limits to like deck building. Really good. I liked it.
How about you, Danny?
Yeah, no, I like that. After like when we all made our decks, like between us two, the 8 decks that we actually ended up choosing, and we didn't talk before or anything, so it's like we ended up having like 8 completely different leaders and decks, and obviously his destroyed mine. But I still think, like, I honestly still think the decks that I were playing they're still somewhat competitive, maybe not as competitive as his, but they can still compete in this meta. So I really like that format, just to be able to showcase a bunch of decks like that, and kind of like Marcel said, kind of show like your deck building skills and branching off into other, like me and him were talking, like when he was playing that droids deck, he's like, how the hell do I play this droids deck? Because it's something that's like, not familiar.
I was like teaching him how to do it. Like, wait, hold on, you gotta take a minute. All right, now that goes into your underneath it, and then you gotta do that. Oh, don't forget the cell. Yeah, you have to absorb that cell too.
We're just kind of like just getting to play these decks, like getting to play other decks, opposed to like when me and I guess me and Marcel, like we're competitive. So when we go to like these main events, we're usually trying to play like competitive decks, meta decks, but being able to branch off and play a bunch of these other decks that maybe not be like top tier, it was really fun to just get to. It's like playing a different game, basically.
Yeah, and I think it's a really good way to display your guys' skill as well. I mean, watching both you and Marcel both play, I mean, you both played very well, played masterfully, through 6 different decks, and that's something hard to do for a lot of people. So that's super cool. George, any questions for our players? You're muted. So
he's
George,
muted.
Yeah, George is muted.
I'm sorry. Marcel. Marcel, question from Marcel.
Yeah.
What type of soap do you use?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Duff soap.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
I run.
Man, how was that game like that? Getting
the
the gate off
thing
the
from life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, play that
I
back.
flicked my
More
screen
so,
like Peter Catani taught me. That's how I pulled it out.
Danny, what were you thinking when that happened?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, me and him were talking about. I'm like, I only have 2 play. I could either just control your board and hopefully to out combo your game, like your whatever you're trying to do for game, swing the next one, or just go for it. I chose to swing with this with the weaker guy, the 20k guy, and it was like I just hope he doesn't draw a negate. I looked through his grave. Obviously, he didn't have any negates there, and I was like, whatever. Let's just risk it. And on the off chance, if he doesn't draw the negate, then I just win right there. Because I don't think if I pass back there, I win. So
yeah,
I
agreed with his play too. Like going for making me go to 0 cards and say, hey, random 2 cards. If it is, it is. No, it's not. Was the better play.
Oh man,
I just
I'll tell you.
got the 2.
I talk about this a lot, but coming from video games, so coming from something that doesn't have that much RNG in it, and coming to card games, that's been the hardest thing for me to learn. Is to say, okay, let's go hard the cards. Let's see. Like I want a decisive win every time, and I feel like that's what makes a great card game player great. Is knowing that, like, you know what, I have an 80% chance to win here. Let's roll it. Let's see what happens. And I think that's awesome. It was a good play. It took us a while to figure out what was going on there for a while. I was like, what has happened? What are they thinking about? I was like,
at the very last turn of the games, every time Danny's like, all right, let me figure this out. Do some calculations. Let me get a pen and paper. Here we go.
it always came down to, like, that's actually what I noticed. When you play against, like, let's say, an average player or a really good player, like when you play against, let's say, an average player, the game flow and the game feels completely different. And the way you win by, maybe more than you need to. But when you got to play something against like Marcel, you got to like scrape for like every little inch, and then like it looked like, I'm not sure how close some of the games were, but like it like at least that one there, like that one, it literally came down to does he have these specific set of cards in this exact situation, and if so, then he beats me, whatever. And then like it comes down to almost like that last turn where it's like you barely have it, or you either barely have it, or
it's like a yes or no answer, and if you choose the wrong one, you lose.
Yeah.
But that one you chose right, and you still lose. I don't know. That was unfortunate. Because a lot of people in the chat were saying like, "Oh, just attack with the cell first, and the other one can't be negated." I don't run the negate. I run the counter that like gives me power, so it wouldn't matter which way he did it.
Yeah, I figured I just wanted to stop
That's true.
the combo power.
Yeah, we discussed that a little bit, whether he should have attacked with Cell first into Infernal or whatever. That's true. We didn't talk about the fact that yours isn't a negate, it just gives you 40,000 power. But also, I think it's much more likely that you draw enough to beat 20k than it is you draw a negate. You know what I mean? Because like you need 2 5Ks to beat negates. Almost any card you get, beats you. So
I had an energy open too, so just 10K, boom.
right, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I love that match though. I was like really thinking like, dang, he went first. How am I gonna sell? Not sell chain. Chain Zeno him. But then I was like, wait, I can attack active mode cards.
That was sick. That was a sick play.
I saw that thing, and he burned 3 cards to keep it out. So it was really smart. Because from your discard pile you can just revive them. So that was really good.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot too. It was actually really funny. I was like, when that attack happened, I was like, oh, it's really cool here. It's super smart by Marcel to use this active mode card guide that attack NAF mode. Super cool. That's something you forget a lot about Chain Attack, that he even has that ability. And then when you did it, I was like, oh, but Danny can combo with these 2 cards. And when my mouse hit each card while I was talking about it, he put them down as combo. So it actually looked like I was playing the game at that point. Like, it was pretty funny. Definitely. All right. Let me check chat, make sure there's no more questions for you guys, and then we'll let you guys get out of here. Thank you so much, by the way, for taking time out of your Thursday night to come test us out. Do you guys like this concept? Do you guys like the Fight Night concept? Is this something you guys like?
Yeah, I'm really interested in this. Seeing more of it in your stream.
Okay.
Definitely, yeah.
Can we get some more legendary ASMR from you two? Thanks, guys. What's ASMR mean? I'm too old.
It's like...
Oh, that's when we were like...
pleasant sounds, I guess.
He's gonna go and...
So when you whisper, isn't it? That's what people usually
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Remember we did that at... when did we do that? When was the last time we did that?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
What's the last event that we were...
Gorge,
Orlando. We
Gorge
did it during the
says,
Pro Play Tour.
Hey, I'm on the fence about going to the ARG in Orlando. What can you tell me what makes it worth attending? Here's the deal. Here's what I'll tell you guys. Every Dragon Ball event is worth attending because there's multiple reasons why, but the big one is you're supporting the community and you're showing Bandai that there's players ready to play this game. So every single event, whether it's your locals, whether it's your buddy holding an event on his kitchen table in his house, go to as many of them as you can, show people this game is worth playing and go do it. Support the community will grow and will give back to you. So always go to as many events as you can. George is about to talk about his Pro Play Tour as well, and his player celebration is also in Orlando as well. So there's a lot of events coming up in the Orlando area, so please support this game in every way that you can. There's too many amazing people in this community like Danny, Marcel, George, ARG, Core TCG, that's Cardmachia in Canada. There's too many people that are supporting this game and are putting work and love into this game for you guys not to support them for X reason. It doesn't matter. If you can afford to go and you want to have a good weekend playing Dragon Ball, go. You shouldn't be worried too much about what you get for going. It should be more about just supporting this game. So that's what I'll tell you, man. No matter what event you go to, you're going to have a blast. I know, Marcel, you're going this weekend. George, you're going this weekend too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be there. Like I said, any big events, whether they be Bandai, ARG, whoever's putting it on.
Pro Play Tour.
Like,
yeah.
We're going and we're going to show out because at the end of the day, this is for the community, right? It's not who runs what, as long as you're not doing something like crazy that you don't stand for or whatever. But for the most part, these events are just try to get everybody out there and have more things to do, right? Like Bandai did a great job in 2019 right now, right? I mean, in 2018, and now they're trying to shape up for 2019. So we were just like, why don't we keep players interested and still give them something to play for until they kind of work out their schedule. So there's huge downtime. Everybody's cards get devalued. Like everybody sells their collections, starts playing like whatever other card game. Like there's no reason. Like why not keep the hype? Why not keep the interest? Why not keep the events flowing? Why don't you keep the prizes worth playing for? And I think this 5K is normally something that doesn't happen. There's not a 5K every weekend. Every event isn't 5K. There's no reason not to go out to this one. And then, for the future ones, you already know that the prize support has already stepped up. ARG went from doing store credit at these events. We threw in cash in the mix. They started throwing cash in the mix. Us being there makes other people better and vice versa. I think these events are going to take a different, step in the right direction. And at the end of the day, it's just there for the players because these things make zero money for the people that are organizing. It's more for the players to go build a community, have a good time, and for us to pretty much broadcast it to you guys.
Absolutely,
That's pretty much
absolutely.
all it is.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Yitzol says, how often will Fight Night happen? So this was just a test to kind of test some stuff out, work on it, but it'll be officially started in January if it's successful, if you guys like it, and then we'll try to do it every Friday. So it'll be Friday Fight Night. If there's a tournament coming up, like a Pro Play Tour or an ARG, I'll just knock it back to Thursday, and I'll just take away one. Like this week, I didn't do Workshop Wednesday to bring this to you and to do the thing. So we'll cut something out. But the idea behind this is to, get players in front of you guys, let you guys talk to players. Also bring in guest commentators. Every one of these will have a guest commentator at it, so it gives other people shots to commentate and communicate with the company with the community in order to kind of strengthen our community and show more faces to you guys. I'll also be keeping track of all the stats. So I'll be keeping track of, how many wins a player has, per deck and what leaders they've used, all that stuff as well. So hopefully at some point I might, try to get one of those championship belts, like wrestling belts, and just ship it to the player who has the most wins or whatever. It'd be something fun for you guys to do as well. So we'll come up with all kinds of fun things if this is successful. Try to get some sponsors. I also maybe even had an idea of letting you guys donate throughout the matches, so you guys can essentially donate, and then a certain percentage of that money will go to whoever wins. So that way, it's almost like a money match in a way, but it's like a way for you, for these players to get money. So say for example, Marcel wants to go to an event, but he can't afford to go. Right? We can come on Fight Night, he can play, and if he wins Fight Night and gets that prize money, then it might give him money to be able to travel to an event or something. So I'm trying to find ways to help the players, get them more exposure, and also bring just great content to you guys. So that's the idea behind the Fight Night series. We'll see how much of the stuff I can pull off though. It's like I mess up quite a bit, so we'll see what happens. Also, a question for you two. Question in chat says, do you guys think that it'll be a lot of Storm at this event? Do you think Storm will take the top again, or do you think people have some ideas on how to beat that?
Well, nothing was released between this and Nationals, and the top decks in that top 32 was not a good matchup against Storm. So, nothing can really stop it right now. Like guaranteed, except for like hard counters, like Baby Vegeta. I think that's a hard counter.
Top again, or do you think people have?
But then that deck loses
that?
everything else that was like also popular. So it's a really like triangle meta in a way, but one of them kind of is like a little bit higher than everything else.
Sure. No, I agree with that. What do you think, Danny?
It sucks. Is like Storm's obviously very powerful. I feel that there's just so many different ways to beat it, but I feel like the mindset of a lot of people is like, well, for Nats at least, Shenron's and like a lot of people took that, and Shenron kind of just gets destroyed by Storm, but then Shenron kind of pushes out a lot of those decks that keep Storm in check. So it's like it's really what side of the coin people decide to play. If they want to counter Storm, then you'll see a bunch of like Hercules or Baby Vegetas. But then if people keep showing up with Shenron's, because I think I heard a lot of the people who were playing Shenron at Nats, they were like, as long as I dodge all my Storm matchups, I'm fine. It's like
that's actually an interesting note that the leaders that we banned, because I'm pretty sure someone asked that. Danny banned Shenron and I banned Hercule, and that's exactly the scenario we're talking about. So I had Swap in my arsenal, and then Swap beats loses to his Hercule, but his Hercule loses to my Shenron. So, we cancel each other out.
Right. Yep. No, absolutely. And I honestly think too. I mean, I love Hercule. I've been playing a lot of Hercule at my locals and stuff. Been loving the deck. It's super fun. But one of the problems I think with Hercule is beating those slower decks. Right. Like if you play a more slower, Hercule, which is in my opinion, the best way to.
I think there just needs to be someone just needs to develop another Hercule deck that's not the one that we've already seen.
Right.
With the thing, and then it might be able to work again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely.
That leader definitely has potential.
No, I agree 100%. He's super fun to play. I love drawing cards, and he does it the most out of everyone. Question for Marcel: any low tier rogue decks that might be on the rise? And you cute.
Leader wise, I don't really think so. I'm kind of waiting for the next set. The Clash of Fates looks really good. I like the new Bardock engine, really good. I like blue. But leader-wise, not right now, but deck build itself, like the engine, I do have something in store for that. Especially at the 5K, I'm going to bring.
Oh, sick.
Spicy.
All right, ooh, spicy. All right, guys. Well, I'll let you both say something. Kind of say goodbye and all that stuff. So, Marcel, anything else you want to say before we let you get off here?
Nothing wrong. Thanks for having me on, and
oh, dude, anytime.
Danny. See you guys at the ARG 5K. If anyone shows up.
Okay, thanks, man. Thank you again for being here, Marcel. It really means a lot to me. Like, really appreciate all your hard work and just being an amazing pillar of the community, man. You're the best. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
All right, Danny, anything else to say?
No, thanks. Yeah, thanks again for having me, and thanks for Marcel for embarrassing me in front of everybody. No, but it's always fun playing against really good players, because if you get to play against it a lot, you definitely notice the difference in game between a good player and like an average player. And playing against Marcel is always fun. So he got me this time, but I'll get him the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man. Well, thank you so much, Danny, for being an amazing pillar of the community. Just like Marcel, doing a lot for the game. Also, Danny, thank you so much for toughing it out. By the way, if you guys don't know, Danny is sick and has pink eye and is still here playing for you guys. So thank you so much for that, man. It really, really means a lot. Those Canadians are tough.
Oh yeah, anything for you guys.
All right, thank you so much, man. All right, guys. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna let these two guys get out of here, and I'm gonna pass it over to George and let George let you guys know about the Pro Play Tour. Take any questions that you guys have about the Pro Play Tour. I'm also gonna pull the site up and kind of navigate through it while George is talking. Well, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna work on that while he's talking. And then after that, I'm gonna pop it up, show you guys how to navigate through the site, answer any questions you guys have about the Pro Play Tour, about the website, about any of that stuff. And you guys, then we'll get out of here and leave you guys alone. So George, take it off and start talking about this amazing event called the Pro Play Tour.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry you're muted.
Dusty. I
Start
appreciate it.
I'm sorry, you were muted.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah, I got you. You're fine now. Yeah.
oh, okay. I was like, what? What's going on? Well, thank you again. First, Danny, to dedicating their time. Marcel got off work early just to do this, so super appreciative for those two guys to come out there. And like you said, Danny was under the weather, but he still did it. So super successful. Can't wait for more of these fight nights. Definitely in the future when Dusty starts bringing them. What, next year, right?
Yeah, January. Yep. This was just a test run. Like I said, I just want to kind of get an idea of how the overlays would work, that kind of thing. I want to bring something a little bit more professional to you guys, a little bit more flashy, but I just want to kind of make sure the format worked. I chose two players that were very, very familiar with Octagon, and that just to see kind of how it would work out. So yeah, this is just a trial, but we'll see what happens.
No,
See what Santa brings.
See what's well, it was fantastic. Can't wait to see these get better in the future. But we want to bring you our own fight nights with the Pro Play Tour. I want those to be full of fight nights, really, against the most competitive players in the game, against some rising new names, against just people out of the blue that just start, wrecking everybody, like Thomas Lippman once was.
Oh, I love Thomas, man. He was on yesterday, man. He's such a good dude.
Yeah, when we made him a bounty, he just started wrecking people. Whoa, what did we do? We just created a monster. So we really wanted to bring this tour to just make people like Thomas who don't maybe have a big name in the community and really just get their name out there, and then them like our first Pro Play Tour champion, actually, the one-day Pro Play Tour champion, Travis Washburn, where he was able to defeat Justin Rios, one of the best players in the whole world. And that's something that you don't get the chance to do very much because the Pro Play Tour is going to be bringing a lot of competitiveness, a lot of the best players, biggest names in the game to the event, and you're going to be able to not only have good competition, but a good experience. It's all about the experience at our PPG events, and those of you who have attended our events can kind of vouch for that and kind of see the differences between our events and other events that have been held. We really want to focus on player experience, and that's why we brought this Pro Play Tour and debuted it here in Atlantic City. It's going to be a good one. Like I said, all the information's on the site, ppgeventmanagement.com. It's going to be able to break down the participation, the prizes. You got everything from where it's going to be. You even got a nifty little hotels sign on there where it shows you the cheapest hotels closest to the venue. Almost zero reason not to go to Atlantic City, but there's $100 flights and like $40, $50, $60 hotels. Like if you want to go big on the hotel, you'll spend $100 a night if you really want a nice hotel. But really, really cheap trip for sure. If you guys haven't been to New Jersey, it's great. Not too far from New York City. You can make a nice little weekend out of it. It's right at the beginning of 2019. And I felt like it was a good position because New York was kind of high on that poll. I know a lot of those other cities, like Austin, Texas, Columbus, Ohio, are not in our first quarter. Unfortunately, those were popular venues in the first quarter. So we're going to try to get them on the schedule for the second quarter. So like I said, this is not the whole Pro Play Tour destinations yet. We're going to have more destinations to come as availability starts opening up in the second quarter of 2019. So it's going to be a good one, though. Definitely go and try to get in there. We're going to have a nice little ranking system. I don't know if you guys were able to see. It's on the PBG Event Management website. It's got a little leaderboard there with Broly on it. It looks really, really cool. We're going to be able to rank our players. Every time you play at one of our events, you'll get points. And we're going to be having a lot of cool features at our event on top of the cash prizing, which you get pretty much exclusively at our events. Of course, Bandai will be giving out their normal travel vouchers at their events. So you'll have pretty much two different types of events to go to. But this Atlantic City one is going to be really special because Bandai is actually hopping in on that one and sponsoring the team event on Sunday. So Clash of Fates weekend, of course. So new cards come out, different meta. You don't really have to worry about Storm anymore. You're going to have all these counters to Storm. You're going to have all these brand new themed decks. You can play your Bardock's Crew deck, your Frieza deck. You have a bunch of cards that counter the existing meta decks right now. And on top of that, you'll be able to play Team Wars, which I know a lot of you guys who haven't played Team Wars before. It's a really cool and interesting format because it's just like they do it in Magic the Gathering. You can't play the same card as somebody else in your team. So if you play Sensubin, if you are the designated Sensubin user, nobody on your team can actually include any card. So whether you choose to play one Sensubin, two Sensubin, three Sensubin, four Sensubin, your teammates have zero access to Sensubin now. So it makes for a lot of cool, unique deck brewing, and it's going to make the Team Wars that much more exciting because you're going to have a huge variety of decks, especially with Clash of Fates out. I assume, since it's the theme booster, you can pretty much just make a deck from buying a few boxes. So whether you go all in and you have all the cards that week, which, if you don't, we'll have them on sale. Like, I'm pretty sure our vendor booth will be cracking tons and tons of signals for you guys that weekend. But you can pretty much take your Bardock's Crew deck, and it shouldn't really, have any identical components from maybe your teammates' Frieza deck or your teammates' Shenron deck or anything like that. That's the beauty about a lot of these decks. One of you could be a Wish Leader, one of you can be a themed Clash of Fates user, and the other be Storm if they still want to be, throw Storm in there. They can still throw in, even though it might not be the best decision for them. They could be androids, they can be whatever they want to be. So it kind of forces you to diversify and really just think outside of the box, especially with all popular new cards that are coming, which a lot of them are just super exciting. But that's going to be really exciting because not only do you have the $3,200 prize pool cash on Saturday that you play for, but you also have the Team War on Sunday, which a huge thing is that Team War is $5. It's literally the cheapest event possible. Other than the free event from Bandai that's going to be coming in March, a $5 Team War is just insane. So check that out. A lot of Bandai prizing, a special playmat from Bandai too. It's going to be a nice little Clash of Fates. Probably going to have some iteration of Bardock's Crew on there. I don't know what the artwork's going to look like yet. Once we get it in from Bandai, which should be in a couple weeks or so, we'll post that out online there for you guys. A lot of cool prizes, almost zero reason not to play. $5 is nothing, actually nothing. And it's going to be cool because there's going to be a lot of prizes for that event as well as the Saturday event. And of course, it's going to be streamed by yours truly, Dusty. So it's going to be really, really exciting. Whether you can't make it, we would love to have your viewership online, see how it goes, check it out, see how things play out, maybe see your friend win the whole event, cheer them on, just be part of the experience, be part of the community, and really just interact. And whether you can be there or not, definitely make sure you try to tune in. And if not, it'll be on YouTube. And I know Dusty's going to have some backup coverage too. So we're going to have 2 rounds of coverage, at least 2 matches of coverage in each round per day. So there's going to be so much DBS content that week. And it's going to be great because it's going to be Clash of Fates release weekend, and that's what I really miss from Bandai events. They don't really like when the new set comes out. They don't really like make a big event right on that weekend. The closest thing was like nationals. Like you had like the new set come out, right, and then they had a week or 2 weeks later or whatever, they had the national championship, which was exciting because it's a new set. Always more hype, right? It gets more people. There's a lot of new cards that people are just like picking up because like the game breaker, right? But yeah, the tour is so many different stops that we're gonna have. So, but you definitely want to try to go to that Atlantic City. The second one's gonna be Atlanta, Georgia. And we're gonna make our way down to Orlando for the celebration event, and that one's gonna be the huge one. That event is completely free, like everything happening that weekend.
That's
for
huge.
the celebration.
That's huge, by the way, guys. Celebration free. Costs no money.
Free. Like
Come play,
super. Yeah. Leak Kitchen. Yes, Sacramento for Pro Play Tour. I'm looking. And San Jose. So that's probably going to be in second quarter, maybe third quarter, the latest. That is definitely a stop that we're working on as well. Columbus and Chicago and a few others. But we're trying to see their availability. A lot of these places are not available some weekends because of other big events. They're usually the biggest venue that we pick. We don't try to pick like a random venue. We try to pick the mainstay venue. So they usually have a lot of business. So we kind of like try to like navigate through what their availability looks like. But definitely, that's definitely on the map. Are they talking about Team Wars for AC? Yeah. Yeah, it's just going to be a team event, guys. Okay, so it's not going to be like the ARG Team Wars. Just play a single, and then the top X players from X team or whatever. This is a just straight on 3v3. Marcel, Danny Hype, and Dusty O'Brien on a team, and they can't play similar cards. So it's really, really cool, and it gives a lot of variance. And you play the whole tournament like that, and then you get to a top 4 playoff, and then you determine the best team. So you get like 12 people in top 4. Because each team is going to have 3 people, and they battle it out. And it's going to be all best of one in the Team Wars, right? So, like, Dusty has to – if he wins his game 1, right, then all he has to do is hope for teammates, Marcel or Danny, to win one of their games.
Well, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be hoping for Danny. Can't
We had to put our money on
a
someone.
game. No, I'm joking.
You snapped.
Yeah.
But yeah, as long as one of his teammates wins another game, then it's over. So it essentially plays out like a whole match, like a Swiss tournament with 2 out of 3s, but you're splitting up the games between 3 people. So not only is the tournament over faster, so you're not there playing Dragon Ball Super for 14 hours straight, but it's more fun, right? Because you're not playing against Storm every round, and you get to play like something unique. Like I know the last team battles that happened in Origins, I was able to play like U7 Frieza without like being scared of like, oh man, if I play against Storm, I lose, because that chance is like significantly decreased.
Yeah. Also, you gotta think too. A lot of cards that make Storm good are usable in a lot of other decks, right?
Yeah,
so, like
Senzu Bean. Like you're cutting off my Senzu,
right?
My Unyielding Spirit Trunks access, my Bardock access. Like, damn it.
There's a lot of cards in there. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the website. Let me pop over to the website here. I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna show you guys. Oops, that was the wrong button. That was the wrong button too. We're gonna go here, and I'm gonna show you guys the website. So I'm gonna get everything knocked over here. I know you guys see the start screen, but I have to do a couple magic. So here's the website, guys. It's at ppgeventmanagement.com. And actually, what I'm gonna do here is I'm just going to bring this down just a little bit for you guys. And I'm actually going to show you guys that website address while I'm going through here. That way you guys can see it. All right, so ppgeventmanagement.com. This is where you guys want to go. And this is going to be your one-stop shop for everything Pro Play Tour, which is super cool. So what you guys can do right here on the homepage, you can go down here and see where the next stop is at all times. Something else that we did for the website, which is pretty cool, is that we also hooked you guys up here as well. So what you guys can do here, you guys want to go to Atlantic City in January 19 and 20, no problem. Click the little person sleeping here. It'll take you to your hotels. These are the cheapest hotels as close to the venue as you can get. So here, if you guys want to, $40. Boom, get your hotel room for Atlantic City. And
Oh
here's,
yeah, luxury inn.
yeah, right, yeah, this place probably going to get stabbed, but that's okay because it's $40.
If you do get stabbed, you can call hotels.com.
Right, yeah, definitely. Here is your GPS. So if you guys click this as well, same thing happens. Takes you here, shows you the convention center. All you have to do is type in where you're coming from at this bar up here, and it'll give you directions right straight to it. So let's say Orlando, Florida. All right, that's where I'm at. That's where I live. Click this. This will come up here, and you can get directions straight to how to get there from Orlando, Florida. So boom, easy peasy, no big deal. Now here's where the venue's at, and we have our live stream here. So this is all the information just right on the front page. So this will always take you. This will always be the.
Oh
next
look, it even gives you flight prices. Look at that.
Check that out. Yeah, right here. Yep. Yeah, it gives you flight prices. No big deal. $312, not too shabby. You can fly in, stay at the luxury inn. It's great. Then you get stabbed, don't have to pay for a return flight. It's great.
That's lit.
Yeah, over here is going to be
Call
the
out of
leaderboards.
work.
Yeah,
I got stabbed. All right,
got
you're
stabbed,
out of
bro.
work for like a month. That's awesome.
yeah,
Sick.
no big deal. So here's the leaderboards. These remember, George did talk about this, but these will be live. So after the first Pro Play Tour, there will be leaderboards here. And I also believe, George, you said, do the leaders get any special benefits for being on the leaderboards? Anything that they get?
Yeah, they're gonna get free entry to.
the
Yeah,
events.
so it's gonna be sick. Yeah,
That's actually sick.
and then you're gonna get points, and there's a lot of cool things that we're gonna offer people on the leaderboard that we're kind of keeping under the wraps until we get a little bit closer to the event to kind of like hype it up a little bit. But we don't want to give you all the goodies in one day, right?
Right, absolutely.
So it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, and then the last thing that we'll talk about here, guys, also you have your links here for all the games. This will take you to the official websites for these. So if you guys have any questions, let's say you want to, you play Dragon Ball, but you might want to try out Yu-Gi-Oh! The second day, you can find all the information about these games right here. Especially Cardfight Vanguard, actually a really cool game as well. This is a game that that I learned a lot about while I was building some stuff for the websites. This is actually a pretty sick game. I actually wouldn't mind trying this game out. So yeah, click tournament schedule. This will show you all the events here. We'll have all these up here pretty soon, but you click Atlantic City here. What's important here that I love about this part of it that George did brilliantly here is it shows you all the prizes here. So here's all the prizes that you get for your each event. So all the prizes are here, guys, for you to check out. All the prizes, what days they're going to be, everything is right here for you guys, and the same information as well. So a lot of insane prizes here, especially in the single event. $800 cash is insane. I'm not sure why this is black, but whatever. But yeah, so this is Goku going to fly around here. But yeah, so $800 cash first prize is nuts. And remember, guys, there's prizing for the top 32. That's nuts. So
Yeah,
great.
everybody in the top 32 walks away with something, and you got that register right there.
Yep. Yeah. If you want to register,
breakdown.
all you have to do, click here to click register now. This will take you straight to the DBS registration page as well. And you can buy all your tickets here. Also, something to keep in mind, it's the same way of all these events. If you're a Yu-Gi-Oh player, want to register, boom, register now, boom, right there they all are. Also, you can click the little person with the pencil if you want. This will take you here, and you can choose which game you want to register for as well. So if you want to register for multiples, they're all right here as well. So you just can choose Dragon Ball right here, for example, and go right here to the Dragon Ball page as well.
Boom. Look at that.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. All right, let's get back over here, guys. If you guys have any questions about Pro Play Tour, let Mr. George know. We're probably going to get out of here in the next 3 or 4 minutes. I don't want to keep George too long. He does have a business to run. But if you guys have any questions about the Pro Play Tour, let us know. Like I said, we'll probably be going here for about another 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. If you guys need to know anything, we also have a dedicated Facebook page on there. It's facebook.com/groups/PPG-DBS. So that's where we're going to be able to have all the information as far as questions and stuff. If you can't find me on Facebook, or you message the wrong George Machado, or whatever the case is, that is the page, that is the group that we're going to be able to discuss a lot of things pertaining to the tour. And also, if you have any questions about PPG in general, about singles, or any information related to PPG, that's a great group to direct all those questions towards. Ideas maybe you have on there, that's a great group to just go on there and just put your ideas, and you can even use that to talk about anything DBS related. So if you want somebody to look at your deck or feedback on your deck, you can do anything that you would do on a normal Facebook discussion group for Dragon Ball Super. That's our dedicated one that we can admin and mod and all that stuff. Dusty's on there. He's an admin. He could shut you down if you start talking trash about how bad his players are. Whatever. I'm sure he'll probably get butthurt from that.
Yeah.
You can challenge him to a game.
If you say something like, Danny Hype just lost 0-3 to Marcel Russell, for example, I'll shut that straight down. That'll be going on.
Shut it straight down.
Right down. No leniency. Bring in the hammer. They call me the hammer sometimes.
They call me
the hammer. I've been called that quite often in my life. It's a very, very frequent term. Okay, yeah. So, Dusty, thank you, Dusty and George, for the great stream. You're welcome, Mr. David Fujimara, my man, all the way in California. I should have chose you, man. If you were on the stream, you wouldn't have lost 0-3.
You snap.
No, I just tease Danny because he always wins all the time, and it's funny to see him actually lose once. It's actually great. Every time I've had him versus somebody on stream, he just wrecks the other person every time, and so it's nice to actually have him lose once. Now I can tease him because I can't tease him for anything. He's really good at the game. He beats me all the time. So now I have you beat me, but you can't beat freaking Marcel Russell. So gotcha. And Rico says, didn't think you'd like Vanguard, Dusty. Yeah, well, actually, when I was going through their website, looking at some stuff, some art assets, and just stuff about the game, they're actually going to release a mobile app. They're going to release it's called Cardfight Vanguard Zero, and it's going to be a mobile app that you can play the game. I guess similar to Duel Links. It comes out in 2019. I'm not sure exactly when. I think they said spring 2019. But I'll pick that up and play the crap out of that. That'd be great YouTube content. It'll be fun to play. So it has me interested in the game a little bit now. I'm like, wait a second, this game actually looks pretty sick. So I hear it's kind of RNG based though, and sometimes you just lose. Off of what do you call them, show breakers? Is that what they're called or whatever? But I haven't had a chance to really sit down and play the game a whole lot, especially the revamped version or whether the newer version or whatever. So cool, guys. Any more questions for Mr. George Machado?
Yeah, Chico. Yeah, it's $40 fee that the Eventbrite charges or whatever. You get a 2-player playmat, right? Which is usually a big thing that you can't get. The entry fee is normally $30 at Bandai events, right? And you get your rubber playmat. This one is $40. You get the 2-player cloth playmat, right? And then you're obviously playing for a large cash prize pool. So that's where that comes in. But yeah, that is the main event, right? And that's the Saturday event, right? So the Saturday event is just going to be Swiss, like a normal tournament. And then you'll get to the top cut, which is going to be the top 16. They'll come back on Sunday and they'll compete for the 3,200 cash prize in single elimination that day. So it's pretty much like a Sunday event, playoffs. Early in the morning, like 8 a.m. I think. All the details, like I said, once you click the Eventbrite, it's all on there. It spells it out really good for you. It tells you when you need to be there, when it starts, when we pay out, when literally everything happens. So it's pretty good way of just read through that and let us know if we miss any type of information. But I believe everything should be there. I had a bunch of people double check it, but yeah, everything's on there. So yeah, that's pretty much the main event. And then the Sunday event is something completely different, and that's the Bandai event, right? That's the Bandai Team Wars, and that'll start at like 10 or 10:30. So if you're in Top Cut, pay out, and you lose, you'll still be able to participate in that team battle. Or if one of your teammates are in that team, if they're still in Top Cut at that point, then they'll be getting a bye in that event. So your team will get a bye if you have one of those top players still playing in that top cut. If they're in the finals, or they should be in the finals or top 4 by then. But yeah, that's pretty much how that's going to work.
Sick. All right. Yeah. Also, guys, keep in mind too, you also get the ability to do multiple things. Also, remember that the Pro Play Tour that's coming for the DVS celebration is free. Every event is free. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. So if the $40 seems a little steep, for you, or you can't make it because of that, keep in mind Orlando is coming. Also, keep in mind, like he said, the Team Wars event is extremely cheap, especially for cash prizing. Also, all you have to do if you want to reduce that cost as well is just get top 10 on that leaderboard. Right, come to the first one. Get top 10 on the leaderboard, and you get free entry for the next one, which is insane. That's an awesome opportunity as well to reduce the costs as well.
Yeah, and like I said, we're working for a lot of just perks for being on our leaderboard.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
So whether it be free entry and some other things, you'll stay tuned, and we'll be spoiling them. But it's really, really good.
Also, Danny Hype, yes, correct. So no matter what, you can play on both events, which is something that I know George really, really wanted to accomplish with the Pro Play Tour. I know, like for example, whenever I was in Richmond, I got top 32, right? I got destroyed by Peter Catani in top 32, and then I wasn't allowed to do anything. I was like, well, that 1K looks really fun, but I can't play in it because I was punished essentially for making
Oh.
top 32. Right. So that's one thing I know George was really trying to fix, was to make sure that, if you win and make it in top 32, even if you make it to the finals, you can still play in the Team Wars events. So that was something that's really important, and that works for the Team Wars event. But if that's ever not Team Wars event, so if that's ever like a 1K, let's say it switches from team event to 1K. Four pro play tours from now, you will just get buys through the 1K event as well, right, George? So you can still play in that event as well. Whatever the day 2 event is, you'll be allowed to make it for both days.
Yep.
Sick. All right, guys. Well, George, I'll let you have the last word. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
No, that'll be it. Thank you guys again for Fight Night. Thank you, Dusty, for having me. You or at commentating, but I really did appreciate the opportunity since I haven't been able to commentate at our own events.
I miss commentating with you, buddy. That's the dream team. That was old school, man. Way back in the day, man. I miss it. I miss it a lot.
I know, right? But no, it was great. Thank you guys again for watching. Thank you for those of you who stayed all the way to the end of it. Thank you guys for all the love and appreciation for the tour. Whether you're able to go there or you're just watching from afar, stuck in Australia or New Zealand or whatever. We love you all the same. Thank you again for all the support, and hopefully see you at the next Pro Play Tour.
All right, guys. Special thanks again to Marcel Russell for coming on here and being amazing, doing a great job during the matches, and being just a fantastic player. Also, special thanks for Danny. Seriously, guys, I cannot thank Danny enough. This man looks like a zombie. He's sick as crap, has the flu, pink eye, plus his pride is now destroyed. Like, this poor man, I feel so bad for him. So thank you so much, Danny. I cannot thank you enough for being here, for not only being just an amazing captain for Kitchen Table Meta, but also just being an amazing player, an amazing community member. Guys, go check him out on YouTube. You can go to Danny Hype on YouTube. Also check out his streams as well. He's just such a great person. I cannot thank him enough. Both players, amazing people. Thank you for making this fight night just amazing. The first one was so much fun. I learned a lot. So thank you guys so much. George, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on here and commentate with me. Talking about the Pro Play Tour. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. But I can't be the man if you're already the man. That's how it works. But guys, stop it. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Love you all so much, guys. Thank you guys for the community. At the end of the day, none of this would be possible without each and every one of you watching this and supporting us. So thank you all so much. Guys, we love you infinitely, so much more than you love us. So we'll see you guys next time. Love you very much. See you Monday.